Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the 24-hour De La Sarthe as we are into the final 2 hours and 48 minutes of racing here. It has been an action-packed day, which is going to provide some fantastic drama towards the end of this race. We've got the Ferrari Rosso team who lead from the HRC Gamma Sim, who are currently in the pit lane. The RIC Team Racing lead by 33 seconds from Velocity Vanguard in LMP2 Pro-Am. And NOP lead over Impact. You're joined by Matthew Duffing and Ashley Denman in the commentary box, who I believe is back from cleaning up his spilt drink. Ashley, have we managed to save it?
The drink was drunk, so that was the good news. The bad news was a bit of it did end up on my desk, but all cleaned up. I'm back and ready to go again.
I hope you're not wasting Dr. Pepper.
It wasn't. No, it was actually a bit of a nice coffee. So I took a leap out of your book with the lattes.
It's safe to say I've got through 2 more of them this morning. The interrupted 6 hours sleep is I'm starting to feel it a little more earlier in this stint than what we was in the last one, but last 2 and a bit hours now, in what has been, I have to we've said it several times, but I have to say it once again, a fantastic 24-hour race here at De La Sarthe. And a drive-through penalty for car number 96, incident responsibility. That is the Cadillac, I believe, that you are seeing on screen. No, sorry, this is the HRC Acura. It is the number 96 Cadillac who is being given that drive-through penalty for an incident earlier in the race. That may have been the car actually that hit the Bravo Snow, I wonder, around earlier on.
Just trying to figure that one out. I've just seen a car 96. Is that what you were referring to there?
Yeah.
Matthew, yeah, they've just got that flag. Do you know what? I think it might be actually, looking at the colour scheme and just, again, brief thought back to the memory of what happened. I think that was the car that hit the Bravo Snow Ford Mustang. And they got away fairly unscathed, but of course the Bravo car definitely did not, and lost the lead because of it. Real shame. That is how it went out. There's a drive-through also for car 189, the closed pit violation. Which car is that based off the number? Matthew, do you have it available? 189, where are we?
It is it's the Welch Competition Lamborghini being driven by Luigi Caputi. Down in 14th place in LMGT3. There we are. So for a closed pit lane violation, they are the team that has fallen foul of that one, and they have to serve their drive-through as well within the next couple of laps. Oh, it's still a nice livery, regardless of finishing position in drive-throughs. It is a nice-looking livery.
It was the car I was praising earlier on when we were here.
So yes.
I just thought, you know what? It still looks good.
Car 37 drive-through penalty. That is the Poised by VF Aston Martin. That is actually the position behind the Welch Competition. Close pit lane violation, drive-through penalty for them as well. So, do you know what? I am amazed 22 hours into a race that we are still getting these types of penalties from for teams. You'd have thought after the first 1 or 2 closed pit lane violations that teams may have clicked onto that earlier and said, look, under these conditions, do not pit. I suppose you can't plan for that due to fuel strategy, and if you're about to be out of fuel, you need to get into the pit lane. But we have seen a lot of closed pit lane violation penalties today.
The thing is I think what the teams have weighed up the options of is, okay, you either have to sit in the pit for 5 minutes or more and you don't get a penalty, or just take the drive through, because if you get into that pit lane when it is closed, whether it be for fuel or damage repairs, obviously the rest of the track is at a slowed pace and speed, so they've probably weighed it up, done the maths and worked out, okay, we'll take the drive-through. It's quicker still.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that should be the way that people want to go racing about it, but I mean, the way the rules are currently written in this iteration, maybe that's something that can be looked at and improved on for the next time we come to the 24. But as it stands, it's the quickest way around, so that's what they do. That's probably a reason as to why they're doing it.
It is indeed. Welcome back to the virtual grandstand as the comments start rolling in. A good friend of mine, Mr. Titan, saying that I'm sounding like I'm fighting for my life. He has no idea at this moment in time. It's been a long old day of action here, and of course, for those who have been keeping up to date. This is mine and Ashley's third stint in the box, 12 hours. In fact, Ashley's done a big 13 hours because you took over from Lorenzo an hour earlier, didn't you, towards the end?
I did, bless him. He was struggling. He said, as he left, he said, I was about to fold into a million pieces. And I think he was telling Ewan about him sleeping on the floor as well and his wife picking him up. So he's had a trouble one.
I imagine his wife might be scraping him out of his computer chair or simulator seat later on this evening or this afternoon, because I don't imagine he's been able to get out of it to get to bed. Either that or he's kind of flopped out of it onto the floor and is laying there. Must have a very comfortable carpet to fall asleep on, I'll tell you that. Nice thick carpet to lay on and get comfortable in. But 2 hours 42 minutes into this race, and while we just have a bit of a lull in the action at the moment, we just want to say a big thank you to everybody here at ACV TV for putting on such a fantastic 24-hour De La Sarthe race. Thank you to Chris Cadiz and the race control in the background. Thank you to Samuli and Omit for their being able to be awake for as long as they have, producing and bringing you the images that you see on the screen. To Ewan and Lorenzo, in fact to Ewan and JR for commentating, for Lorenzo and Connor for commentating and driving in the race, and then a big thank you to Ashley as well for joining me for the 12 hours here. There's more comments in. Morning Matt and Ashley, good morning. I recognise that YouTube name as well. Good morning Wellington, hope you're doing well, buddy. Your sacrifices are well worth it. Thank you guys for the amazing commentary. From Arctic Fox, that's Gordon nice in the chat as well. I know them three, and the chairman Sebastian as well, putting the up arrows to that, obviously sort of agreeing with Gordon's comments there. So yeah, it always is nice to hear, but well worth the lack of sleep and being in the commentary box for this one, because it has been a fantastic race.
It has been. It's been a cracker. Definitely well worth it in my book. I think my wife might disagree, but she's not the one watching it. I am, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm not complaining.
You're telling me you've not got the YouTube on in the living room for her to sit and relax and enjoy the race?
I tried. She was having none of it.
Brilliant. I have to feel sorry for my part. Yesterday we watched the touring car qualifying, the Formula 1 qualifying. God. And then she went, what do you want to watch now? And I said, I'm just going to tune in because ACV has been started for a while, so I'm just going to see what's happening in that. And she went, I'm going to walk the dogs. So out she went while I put wall racing on in the afternoon yesterday. But no, I suppose let's give a shout out to our partners for allowing us to do this and be awake for so long to bring this event. Thank you for putting up with us. Talking rubbish about race cars going round in a circle is probably how they see it, but thank you very much for allowing us to do this. And yeah, big shout out to Chris as well for giving us the opportunity to bring you this 24 De La Sarthe, and I hope ACV TV bring this back next year, because what an event it has been. The grid size as well, and I know we've had a few retirements in this race. I think we've possibly just dropped under 50 cars now, but we had a great turnout for this race, didn't we? A great good sized grid. Over 55, 57 cars, I believe, at the start of it. So really good to see the amount of cars on track.
I think it was the number in the middle you missed. I think it was 56. But yeah, you're bang on the money, aren't you? Yeah, you're bang on the money. Yeah, really good turnout. And in terms of the cars we have lost, we haven't lost all that many in the grand scheme of things. I think looking at it briefly, there's about 7 down there that have decided to retire from the race. But all in all, when you think about that, we've still got over 50 cars in this event. It's still a packed grid, even if we started with 50. Like that, what a turnout that is, and the fact that everyone's sticking to it, it really is something special. So yeah, this series, this event that ACV TV has put on, I hope it may continue, and we see again another event like this next year.
Yeah, it really has been thoroughly enjoyable to watch, and we do have just over 2.5 hours left of it. And you're on the 6th and final part of the YouTube broadcast for your enjoyment to bring this one home. Ferrari Rosso lead in Hypercar, Rick Team Racing lead in LMP2 Pro-Am, Impact in LMP2, and double stint by TSR lead only just by 7 seconds. That is the closest gap for the lead in LMGT3. And on we go again here at 1:30 track time, local time, at 37 degrees track temperature now, so it has really ramped up in temperature, and it's only going to get warmer still as this last 2.5 hours roll on.
Yep, it's probably going to peak within the next hour, I would say, before it then cools. Well, I don't think it really is going to cool at this point now to the checkered flag, but might get a touch hotter. Yeah, already up there, 37. That is quite a number. Murray Adams here, back in the car. We've had a chat with him twice here throughout the 21 hours, or just over that, of racing. And he's been a lovely chipper chap, hasn't he? He's been very positive. Of course, at the time we last spoke to them, the team were leading this event and have tumbled a touch, but still well within this race and still well within the chance to take a win. A minute back, but not far off the next car of the Porsche packs. And even then, the HRC Gamma Sim car, not a million miles ahead there. So podium certainly on the cards if they can just catch and get past. But that's always the hard bit, isn't it? Getting past your next competitor.
But let's not forget Porsche Asleth have been in the wars a little bit themselves these last couple of hours. Ferrari Rosso have been in the wars quite a few times this evening. So it's far from being done. And all it takes is one safety car to bunch that pack back up to really get this hypercar battle back underway. So still a lot can happen here. And I wouldn't like to say it's over just yet, because 2.5 hours is a long time for all sorts to change in this race at the moment. The one to really keep our eyes on, as we are on board with P2 in Hypercar, and I do have to say, I think that is my favourite livery of this 24 so far. The black and neon yellow looking Acura there. Might be a little biased because it is an Acura, and I do have a love for Hondas. But I have to say that is a lovely looking livery. The closest fight though, the LMGT3 battle, this is going to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen here. There's a bit of lap time comparison for you between Adams and Ray in P3. Adams over the last 2 laps has taken 1.3 seconds out of Ray's time, and they're only 2 seconds behind. So within the next 2 or 3 laps could be sorry, they've taken a second out of their time. I didn't see the 3 temps on lap 295 that they'd lost to Ray. So they could be about to get onto the rear of that Porsche Pax car, who I believe, because of the out-of-sync strategies that these guys are on, Porsche Pax are due a pit stop anytime soon. They've currently done 15 laps on this stint, whereas Murray Adams, who's just got back in the car, pitted only 7 laps ago. So, Porsche Pax will be due into the pit lane imminently, I'd say. I can't imagine you're going to get much more than 15 laps out of this.
Just trying to do some quick calculations in my head. It's not going to work, I don't think. I would imagine they're probably coming into the pit either this lap or the next one. We've had the other drivers around that top 5 all make their stops. But they just keep going through the front of shot. There's the gap. You can see it there. The Porsche Pax car just turning left now. And there goes Murray Adams in the HRC car. So not the gap close ever still. And not much between them. But that fuel load does make a bit of a difference. That is the reason why I think the Porsche Pax car is able to hang on to that little advantage it has, because it is probably running on close to fumes at this point. Pretty much nothing in the tank. And the HRC team car, a little bit more weight to it. Which car is that ahead of the Porsche Pax, though? Because that is helping them out quite a bit with the extra slipstream effect that they'll be receiving. That's probably what is keeping this gap a little bit open.
I believe it is the Daniel Campos number 31 hypercar that is giving the slipstream to the Porsche Pax car, who they are not going to probably want to lap him at the moment, especially if they are thinking of boxing at the end of this lap. It is the Daniel Campos BMW car ahead here. So at the moment he's probably just going to want to follow the BMW and use the slipstream as much as possible, as they just put a lap on one of the Porsche GT3s. The interesting thing I'd like to know, obviously we don't have this information handy to us, is I wonder what tyres these teams have left in the car, because 15 sets for LMP2 and Hypercars, 16 sets of tyres for LMGT3. I wonder if they've got a fresh set of boots maybe for the very last couple of hours of this race that they're going to double stint, or will they be putting on an old set of tyres to get to the end of the race? That, for me, is going to be a bit of an interesting sign to see where we are in this race and who's been able to manage to save a set of tyres till the very end, because that could play dividends to them going into them last two stints of this one.
Certainly will be, no doubt. Unfortunately, we can't really get anybody in to ask the question to, because they will want to keep that information top secret, won't they, as they try and gain any advantage that they can. But yeah, the gap has closed right up here between Adams and the car of Campos. And there you can see the Porsche Pax car as well, just now in the sight lines, very much firmly in the sight lines for Adams then. Through the Dunlop curve, now the chicane, and under the bridge they go into the S's, as Adams will pick up that slipstream effect from the car in front. So that it was hindering him, you could say, with the Porsche Pax picking it up, but now he'll get it himself, and they should file themselves out of the way with the blue flag system. I don't think they'll want to get too involved in this.
Question being asked by Mr. Titan in the virtual grandstand. A question for everybody, he says. If you have to choose a strategy to catch the leader, would you choose to fully push or fuel save to maybe save a pit stop at the end? What an interesting question that would be. I think at this stage of the race, saving a pit stop is very unlikely for what you'd possibly lose. Yeah, so I think at this stage of the race, you're probably not going to be able to do that. We already know from speaking to Murray Adams with what the Acura saves on fuel over the Porsches and the Ferraris and the BMWs. Somebody worked it out in the virtual grandstand that after 210 laps, they'd have effectively saved a pit stop over the cars around them. So they've already kind of done that one, but they've had dramas in the race early doors, starting from 52nd on the grid. Then they was 2 laps down, I think Murray said, towards that first 2 hour mark, and I have to tip my hat to them because they've done rather well to be fighting here for a podium.
They have. You definitely can't take anything away from them, and equally still at this point, 2.5 hours remaining, there could still be another twist to the tail. Who knows, a virtual safety car or indeed a full safety car might come out still. Plenty of time left on the clock, but at the moment, yeah, out and out pace. Adams and the HRC team definitely getting the business done, as they took another second out of Ray's Porsche Pax car last lap. So even with the lighter fuel load, the Pax car not quite up to the same speed that Adams can pull away in his Acura.
It's got to be running on fumes at this point. They'd have gone 16 laps into this stint. So yeah, it's got to be running on fumes. And we've just been told by our producer there that they are also catching up to the other Acura in second place of Johnson. And you can see that Adams on the last lap took 2.3 seconds out of Johnson's time. So really eating into to the gaps here. And I'm sure that the HRC teams, both of them, would love a double podium for the Acura. As we know, not the quickest in the straight line compared to its rivals around it, but it can save on the fuel, and that helps them go that little bit longer into the stint in this race. And the slipstream will help them here from the Porsche backs. Maybe not through the Porsche curves, but it'll help them definitely down the Multon from the Porsche Pax car of Nathan Ray, who I assume is going to box very soon, because 16 laps they've done is a long old time to be staying out, and well, they're going to go for one more.
I was just having a look to the leader, Daniel Molina, in the Ferrari Rossa car. Last lap, before we finish that one there, the car of Adams was almost 3 seconds faster. In fact, he has just done a faster lap. Sorry, that was basing it off of Adams' previous lap. He has just gone 3 seconds faster than almost the leader of Molina. Almost 4. Yeah, exactly. Almost 4. So not only is he catching down second place at this rate, they're also catching down the overall leader.
Right, so here's where I think we are with this race, and anybody in the chat, please tell me if I'm wrong. I think the Ferrari Rosso has either got one of possibly their silver drivers in the car, or is maybe fuel saving to try and balance this out, to do a stop to get a full tank of fuel and get to the end of the race and have enough left, obviously, for the cool down lap. HRC Team PBM, we know, are on a different strategy completely. Is this also what the Porsche pack car is doing? Just trying to fuel save that little bit to go longer into this race, to just pit around about a time that works out for the team to pit, fill up the car, do the end of the race and the cool down lap. That's the thing I'm most interested in at the moment in terms of what is happening here. Because Murray Adams in the Acura is at full speed here, and Nathan Ray, almost NASCAR-style bump drafting here down the Mulsanne straights. That'll help him save a little bit more fuel if this is the case. I think we've got some fuel saving strategy going on here from the Porsche Packs and the Ferrari Rosso teams.
Well, we've
Rosso's
Adams
all platinum,
pass.
sorry. So they are an all platinum team, so apologies for that one. I've not actually turned my other monitor on yet to get the driver notes up that I have in front of me. So they're an all platinum team. So are they just fuel saving here, and is that why they're losing nearly 4 seconds lap, or did they make a mistake?
Hard to tell, isn't it, at this point? We'll see if they do start putting an extra lap in, but at the moment I think it's up to destiny, you could say. I've also got a funny feeling that the Porsche Pax car had to let Adams through there. I think they really need to fuel save on this lap. I feel like they're coming in at the end of this one, as we're going to get a replay here of Adrian Nguyen, Screeching Moose Motorsport car. I feel like we've seen that before. I know it's not a replay that we've seen before. That's a new one, but pretty much a carbon copy of something that happened earlier on.
Yeah, it's fatigue, isn't it? Fatigue tyres. We've said it all night, and yeah, the Corvette, bless it. It's running P5. Sorry, it is car number 5, not P5. It's been a long one. Apologies to the virtual grandstand. But yeah, look, they're still going. This will be a great experience for them. Just looking at the pit stop. So Nathan Ray is on lap 299. They pitted on 282. That is a long old way on this stint. I don't recall them doing 17 laps prior to other stints through the night and stuff. So I think definite fuel saving.
Wow, that is mighty impressive. If they've been able to go 17 laps, surely coming in now.
No,
how are they going round again? How are they doing this, Matthew? It's not working in my head.
I'm adamant that nobody has done 18 laps in the Hypercars in a stint. Now, again, virtual grandstand. I could be completely wrong here, but this is incredible stuff from Nathan Ray. And if this is a fuel saving strategy to get them back onto a good strategy towards the end of the race, provided we are green till the very end, Nathan Ray is doing a terrific job to be keeping hold of P5. And what's his pace like at the moment? Just on a 3:28, so
good.
Almost 2 seconds slower than Murray Adams, who's taken another 2 seconds out of Daniel Molina in the Ferrari Rosso car. So Murray Adams, if he's until the end of this race, he is giving it full beans at the moment.
I'm almost speechless here. I can't be, of course, but it's not adding up. I can't work it out in my head.
Isn't
Nathan Ray in the Porsche Packs is now on lap 17 or 18
yeah.
on the same fuel load. As far as I was concerned, a hypercar can only go about 11 or 12. How has he got an extra 6 out of it? And not only that, they're keeping pace. A 3:28 is not slow. That is a normal race pace. How are they doing that? Have they pitted and it's just not shown up for us potentially? I don't know, but surely they've made a pit stop. There's no way they can go that long.
Let me just refresh my timing screen and see if that changes anything. I don't know if it will. No, still saying 282. So, well, let's just wait and see when they're in the pits. Here is Jose Barbosa for the Rick Racing team. Nathan Ray. Yeah. The mind boggles. Math isn't mathing. We're doing this on very little sleep, so let's see what has happened. I've been told by a producer that they may have pitted during the little break we had changing over to part 6 of the stream, and it just hasn't shown up on the timing tower. So that may be the case, but let's wait and see if they do pit imminently then. As to what may be the case here, we'll keep our eyes on that one. Nathan Ray, though, is coming through P4 in class and overall at the moment, and they are still quite comfortably ahead of the Porsche Astelith car, running down in P5, the 58 who led for majority of the first half of this race. It has had a few dramas in the second half and has lost the lead and has tumbled down the order a little bit.
Just in the virtual grandstand, Matthew, I've just seen your friend Mr. Titan. They're being powered by the power of friendship and spite. It's just it's comedy like that tickles me to the core.
Tanner's quite witty, and no doubt there'll be a few of that till the end of this race if he's here watching.
I love it.
He even put NASCAR mentioned raw with the eagle and the American flag. So there we go. He did say that earlier on. I did notice that one in the grandstand earlier on. No NASCAR's out here for this 24-hour De La Sarthe like a few years back, where we saw Jenson Button, I believe, was one of the drivers in that one. But no NASCAR's around here as a special invitation. Oh, no, that would have been mightily impressive to see what they'd have done in that. A little special invite car would have been an interesting one. This is riding on board with Jose Barbosa, the leader of LMP2 Pro-Am, 35 seconds ahead of the Velocity Vanguard racing car.
That gives me a thought. Sorry. No, I had a thought. I was thinking, could you imagine a wild card? I know it doesn't sound realistic, and it doesn't. A wild card, just not a random car, something that makes sense. Just get a team if they want to go for it and have fun. Just chuck it in and see what it does. Like an invitational entry. 4 or 3 drivers, in they go. And that would have been interesting to see. What would your car have been to sort of use for this event? It's as long as it has to keep it interesting, I'm assuming. Otherwise, you're sort of trying to throw God knows what at the wall and hope it sticks. But I tell you, it's quite a hard decision that. Because you need it to be quick on the straights and not cause too much of a chicane, but at the same time you don't want it to be outright winning the event. So I mean, a NASCAR is something that would be quite entertaining to see, because you can't go with open wheels, of course. But I don't know. I'm trying to rack my head around what could potentially fit that little niche. Maybe a NASCAR indeed, like we had the other year. Well, that could have been the case. Who knows? We'd wait and see. Tanner says he's here to keep us entertained. Here comes Impact, says Mason. Well, indeed they do. On the turn 1 machine for second place in LMP2 to make this a Impact 1-2. And into the pits now comes car number 11. That is the turn 1 machine. So it is an Impact 1-2 at the moment. But pit stops happening now for the LMP2 cars. So Impact first and second, and number 7 Impact's just done a personal best of the race with 2 hours 21 minutes to go. So still life in the tank for the Impact team, car number 7. And they've still got plenty more in the tank and in reserve to get to the end of this race. Certainly do indeed. Just having a little look up and down the order of things in between all the different classes. Virtual Power are leading the LMGT3s. They are only doing it by 2.5 seconds from Luke Langer in the double stint car, as we're going to jump on board here. You may even see them come into shot. There they are, both on screen. So that is the battle for the lead then in the LMGT3 class. And then rounding out that podium currently is the Fisher car, currently being driven by Marat Gdansky. And they have got the Vulture M Sport also keeping them pretty close company as well in 4th. So the podium spot's still up for grabs in the lower category classes. And so keeping everybody nice and honest right to the very end. That's always good to see. Yeah, it is indeed. And Bravo Snow are actually still on the lead lap of the podium runners here. I'm looking at the timing screen. They've been lapped by the front 2, but are on the lead lap of the podium places. Just on the lead lap, I might add. So Enrique Gomez in that Bravo Snow Ford Mustang, if he's got the pace to gain over the Fisher and Vulture car, if we do get a virtual safety car or something towards the end, that would put him onto the back of them 2 almost for the chance of a podium in this race. So we'll keep our eyes on that, as is the Vortex car as well, still on the lead lap for the podium. Again, only just, but they're still there on that lead lap. So this could be interesting to see what will happen as this race develops and moves on. Impact car number 7
yellow flags. They've just taken a bit of track limits. The HRC team by PBM, so Porsche packs, it definitely had glitched out on our screen at Timing Tower because HRC team PBM have pitted before the Porsche pack. So we'll ignore the fact that they've gone 20 laps from what it says on our Timing Tower. The Acura into the pits from P3, and they're just trying, I think, now to hopefully, if it is green flag till the end, have a race that gets them onto the podium at the very end of it.
To give it a lap or two and they'll be in as well, as this is the battle still unfolding for Mark Scherschel in the Cadillac Albrecht team and Marco Pereira Cadillac WOSR as well, so they are very, very close there on the circuit. I had another thought, Matthew, about what car I'd choose. A GTE I think would actually be quite entertaining.
Oh, an old school sort of retro vibes.
Yes.
You know what, bring the Ford GTE.
Yes. Like
beautiful
that.
Looking car. Get that back out there as an invitational invite to come back round and have a go. Let's see what happens. And this is the RS Racing McLaren on the back of the 967 IRT Lamborghini, who both have had their fair share of dramas throughout the course of this 24-hour as well. But fighting hard here for P11 and 12. And it's good to see these teams really giving it their all till the very end of the race to fight for as many positions as they can get. And fair play to all the teams and drivers still going around the circuit at the moment and trying to just pick up a place or two here or there, as we're seeing the last lap times on the Timing Tower. And if you look at the Gamma Sim, look, a couple of tenths quicker than Ferrari Rosso last time around. Porsche Asalith was the quickest car last time around. Obviously the 99 Acura had been into the pits, that's why it was down in the 32s. So keep your eyes on Porsche Asalith. They're not out of this one for a podium by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe the race win in second place has fallen away, but the podium isn't off the table for them, as here is Jose Barbosa going up against the number 7 Impact. This is for second place in category overall. Obviously the LMP2 Pro-Am leader ahead of second place in LMP2, excuse me. Coming down the Mulsanne straight now. And look at the slipstream from Impact Car 7 there, using it to full effect, and sails on by. And I think Jose Barbosa was a little more than welcoming to letting the Impact car through there, and didn't want anything of that. He's got a race to win and doesn't want any bit of drama with another category car to affect his race here.
Yeah, he's not too worried about losing that. It doesn't change his position in class, which is what he'll be more focused on, as both of them weaving through the little Porsche train there. 3 of them, 1, 2, 3 in a row. Sweeping back through, nicely done, finding the gaps where they are. Yeah, that looks like the Fischer car, doesn't it? I think leading the charge of that one. I could be wrong, double check it, but it looks like the Fischer Motorsport car. But yeah, found their way through and on they go. But no, like you said, they won't be too worried about letting Impact through. They are just focused on their own race, and Velocity Vanguard 36 seconds back. They have got a nice little cushion.
And that's where they won't want anything to happen. Here is the Fischer car, the number 84, just allowing, I think that was the Project 91 Porsche through to unlap itself. That is fighting the blue and orange liveried Porsche behind of the Vulture M Sport for this podium spot in LMGT3. And Mr. Titan has asked in the chat, do you think with Ford coming back to the top level of endurance racing, we'll see the old Ford and Ferrari rivalry come back? I hope so. In the years to come, when Ford do return to the grid at, say, the hypercar level, I do hope it does reignite a Ford versus Ferrari sort of feud in the endurance scene.
I mean, yeah, it'd be cinema in motion, wouldn't it? It'd be very much ideal. The only then team that I can think of that would be missing from the grid is a good old Jag. Because the history that they have around this circuit is also quite impressive when you look back at the history of it.
Bentley as well.
Yeah, Bentley. Yeah,
winners back in the early 2000s.
And you can't really forget Audi, but I feel like they haven't long left the sport, have they? So might have to wait a little bit longer for those guys to make.
I feel like Audi are kind of focusing on their Formula One adventure at the moment, and want to possibly try and get that one there. But yeah, believe it, a former British touring car driver, Rob Huff, won in the Bentley prototype car that won Le Mans back in the mid-2000s. Beautiful machinery. It was actually at Donington Park for the Donington Historic last year. Managed to get the chance to see it go around Donington Park, and lovely looking car. Here's one for the invitational invite. Why not try and get the Mazda rotary engine, Mazda 7B7, I think it was.
Yeah,
the green and orange 787B. Sorry, get the green and orange livery as an invitational invite to come into the next 24 De La Sarthe.
Oh, could you imagine that thing screaming down the Mulsanne?
It'd be like the Aston Martin in the modern world endurance, wouldn't it? You know, you wouldn't see it, but you'd hear it and know what car it was.
That was going back full circle here with the invitationals we keep talking about. The Chevy, the NASCAR they bought here, you could hear that thing from the other side of the circuit. Yeah. I heard through the grapevine at least. So you would definitely hear that before you saw it, particularly down the Mulsanne. Absolute massive screaming V8 motor in the front. I believe it was a V8, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it was loud.
It was indeed, and I believe the first time that we saw the doors not open on a driver swap, and they had to do it full NASCAR style, wasn't it, for the driver swap, which was a new adventure for the 24, climbing through the window. But Jenson Button had to really nail that one down. He wouldn't have been used to climbing through the window of a race car all too often.
Out of a halo, though.
Out of a halo, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose almost the same, isn't it? Kind of getting out the top of the old McLaren Formula One car. Here is Eric Terry Haag in the Vulture M Sport, really on the back of the Fischer Porsche now, and looking to close in just a little bit.
It sounded like they were coasting most of that straight.
Possibly just trying to lift and coast a little bit to save a bit of fuel. I wonder if Ford did come back to fight Ferrari, whether Matt Damon would have to dust off the old boots and make another film about it.
Oh, I think it'd be 90 before the film came anywhere towards the cinema, wouldn't it? But yeah, just listen to this though with Eric Terry Haag. You can hear him just tapping the throttle, just lightly blipping it to keep the speed up. But he is really trying to save us in deep on the brakes. Whoa, whoa. Don't want to get much closer than that to touching between the two Porsches. I wonder, are we going to hear the same tactic now? Because he really is desperately trying to keep that Fischer car ahead.
Yeah, he is indeed really trying to keep the Fischer car in front, and interesting strategy what Eric is doing here, just trying to save that little bit of fuel. Let's just listen in a second. Big old lift and a downshift through the first part of Indianapolis there. So really trying to hassle the back of the Fischer car. Pulls to the outside now and looks right around the outside of the Fischer Porsche Adenage. Gets the move done. And Eric Terry Haag, well, for all the saving he was doing down the Mulsanne straight, he's put it to great use with a move around the outside of Arnage on the number 84 Fischer Porsche. Set him up absolutely beautifully through Indianapolis. And the American driver in the Porsche car.
Wow.
What a move that is. Doesn't even run over the curb out wide. Beautifully done from the American driver. I'm sure Tanner will be seeing the American flag there and will be cheering like mad in the chat at the moment. But what an overtake that was. 2 hours 10 to go. And the podium changes once again.
That looked premeditated. He was planning that, I could tell right from the... Well, I could tell after he made the move, of course, because he wanted to stay behind the Fischer car and make sure he got the move done at a point where it's then almost impossible to sort of repass after the move has been made. So he timed it to perfection and absolutely gave us a fantastic view of just how to overtake round the outside of a fellow competitor. Really well done there from Terry Haag. As looking a bit further back in the same class, P13 then is Jesus Collado, and getting all mixed in and amongst a few of the other GT cars here. They are right on the back of the Project 91 and the RS Racing McLaren as well. So battle for P11 here.
Yeah, the Ford Mustang of Liam Kilton. Here's Liam Kilton. He's back in the car. The man of the moment of the 24 hour. Is for me, yeah. Running down in P9 at the moment, trying to get past the few cars ahead of him as he's down in 9th place. Couple of laps down after his incident earlier on, just being lapped by a couple. I believe that was one of the Impact LMP2s just putting a lap on him possibly there as well. Porsche packs in the pits. HRC Gamma Sim in the pits as well. So Ferrari Rosso going long at the moment, and Porsche Asalith as well going for a little bit longer also. So Liam Kilton then. P9. Oh, he's had a moment.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's had a spin. He's got it go. He didn't get it going as quick as he did in reverse the other day, but the other day, earlier on in the race. But yeah, that's some damage to the front left of that car, front right of that car, and oh, for Liam Kilton there, that's going to be brought back round to the pit lane. That could bring out the full, the full course yellow. Sorry.
I've got a funny feeling it might not. He's got that going pretty quick, and no other cars seem to be getting affected by it. So, oh dear, I'll tell you what, I think we're his biggest fans out there today. But yeah, what a shame there for Kilton.
Mason's just said in the Mason in the chat, she said you guys jinxed him fully.
I think we did there, didn't we?
Yeah, if you. The commentator's curse, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is a real thing. It is an actual, genuine, real thing. And we have just given that one to Liam and the Impact team. So, apologies to the number 16 car. But yeah, let's see what happens in this one. Pablo saying a clean race so far, with Sebastian replying, that was a productive comment, Pablo. If you've only just tuned in, it has been far from clean in this race. We have seen our fair share of safety cars and full course yellows, and fair share of incidents throughout the entirety of this race. But that is the enjoyable factor of multi-class racing, especially with 3 levels of cars on the grid.
Certainly is. I just looked at the LMP2 category while we're still here with Liam Kilton, just making their way back to pit lane, no doubt. NOP back to the top, so they are currently leading that category, albeit they're still yet to make a pit stop. However, you know, this still could go either way. It flip-flops between a couple of teams here, because they are still incredibly close in terms of on track and the gaps between them. So all really it comes down to is at what point does a pit stop need to be made for each team, as I think, yeah, in comes Bart Matcha to make the stop for NOP. So Impact 6 and 7 will retake P1 and 2. Question is are they going to get ahead of turn 1 in P4?
That'll be the big question. And for Bart, he's coming to do his pit stop now. Where are they strategy-wise in terms of getting to how many pit stops have they got left? They have 2 or 2 pit. Yeah, full course yellow. Here we go.
You called it.
Well, they brought it out earlier for the Ford Mustang that had the same incident, the Bravo Snow Ford Mustang. They brought it out for that, if you remember, and that's what caused the number 3 BMW to get the drive-through penalty for the closed pit lane violation.
Full course yellow now.
NOP, I tell you what, NOP have been very fortunate there to box when they did, now we think about it. But yeah, full course yellow, here we go.
That's exactly what I was going to mention, Matthew. NOP got into the pits before the full course yellow was called, so they're not going to get any violations or penalties from that, and that is huge for them because they've pitted in from the lead of the LMP2 class. Don't forget that. Impact, the number 6 car has gone through. The number 7 car was a little bit further back, albeit they may still get the jump. But that is going to help NOP hugely here as they also make a driver change, because the rest of the field going at a slower pace. It is a nice cheap pit stop for them. So NOP getting rather lucky, as we have seen this before with the HRC team earlier on in this race. And that was also for the lead at the same moment then. But NOP getting the same treatment here.
And also, the bonus for NOP is they won't have to get there, or they will have to get their tyres up to temperature, but this will hurt Impact's tyres around them because their tyres will now be cooling from the race that they've just been doing, from the stint they just started or coming to an end of. So their tyres will now be cooling down under the full course yellow, whereas NOP have just come out on them cooler tyres through, whether they've changed them or not, they'd have cooled down through the pit lane and been stationary in the box. So that kind of helps NOP out a little bit more, knowing that the fact that Impact will also have to get their tyres back up to temperature. Impact into the pit lane, so it was only a short full course yellow, and we're about to go back to green flag racing here. And there is your race leader, Daniel Molina, in the Ferrari Rosso car. Pitted back on lap 296. They've done 10 laps of their stint, so they might be ready to come into the pits within the next 1 or 2 laps. That may have just got an extra bit of a lap out of the Ferrari. They're under the full course yellow, so we'll see what happens here for them then. Luke Langer, second place in the LMGT3 BMW, and here is Marco Pereira in the Cadillac World of Sim Racing, down in 11th place. Comes into the pit lane as he looked like he was just about to have a bit of a battle with the BMW around him, but into the pits comes the World of Sim Racing Cadillac, down in 11th place in LMGT3.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye firmly fixed on the timing tower. I'm waiting for it to sort of sort itself out now that we're back up to full green race pace, because I want to see the gap between NOP and the car number 6 of Impact, the leader there in the LMP2 class. How much time have they effectively gained under that sort of lucky cheap pit stop that they received, and how much of a gap is it going to be? They've come out the pits now, and they've done it only a couple of laps after Impact as well, and I think we should have the timing tower pretty much sorted. Seems to be 22 seconds, so considering they would have been considerably further back than that, that is not too bad, and they're ahead of the number 7 Impact car as well.
Yeah, they are indeed. The number 7 is right on the rear of them, though. Liam Kilton drops down to 10th place behind the team of World of Sim Racing Corvette for P9 in that LMGT3 category. But there is NOP and the number 7 Impact car of Matthias Henriksen. Philippe now in the NOP car. So we're approaching the 2-hour mark left of this race. What a race it has been here during the Le Mans 24-hour, the 24-hour De La Sarthe, apologies, here on ACV TV. And this is the battle for second place. It looks like Impact number 6 are sat in the box seat at the moment in terms of winning the LMP2 category. But this is the fight for second place, and who knows what will develop towards the end.
Yeah, what they don't want now is to make contact, these two, of course, but I think they will play it fairly cautiously, as or maybe not. Down the inside goes the number 7 car, deeper on the brakes through the first part of the Porsche curves. The NOP not going to try and put up too much of a fight, no doubt due to the fact that they are on brand new set of tyres that are going to be cooled off as they are bringing them in slowly, but they shouldn't really lose too much time to the Impact car. Of course, the full course yellow would have hurt their tyre temperatures a little bit too, as they are all slowly getting back up to race pace. I thought they were coming in there for a moment, but no, they're just trying to open up the corner of the first part of the Ford chicanes.
Porsche SLF car is in the pits from second place in Hypercars. That should possibly put the HRC Acuras back ahead for the time being. And yeah, what an interesting race this is. NOP, like you say, will just be trying to get their tyres in the correct window as they go ahead. Impact would have been able to get their tyres up to temperature after doing pitting a lap earlier than the NOP team. There is Matthias Henriksen. Oh, the screeching mooses. Well out the way there of Philippe to not be in the way of the NOP LMP2. But here we go then. We are now into the final 2 hours of this race. And the action doesn't stop there for these drivers. We'll hopefully chat to the race winners towards the end of this one. Before myself, Ashley, and our producer Ahmet will probably go and get some well-deserved rest, as the racing has been really entertaining throughout the entire 24. And this is the stage of the race now, Ashley, where a lot of these battles and a lot of the pit stops could start to bring cars together for that final couple of stints to race to the checkered flag.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point as well, when we see the next bout of pit stops from the different car classes, we can start to get an idea of how many stops are left in this race, providing we stay green to the end, of course. So this is the point where a lot of the teams now are probably looking at that too and trying to figure out, okay, where are we in this race at this present moment, and where can we look to potentially be by the time we see the checkered flag? So that everyone will be crunching the numbers and seeing what is possible, or in some cases maybe impossible, and go, okay, we have to accept our fate here. But it's still pretty open. I mean, the only thing that I would say now, looking at the hypercar battle at the front, I don't know how they've done this, but Ferrari Rosso seem to have opened that gap up to the HRC Gamma Sim team. Almost 2 minutes now, the gap.
That's because the HRC cars have pitted and Ferrari Rosso haven't been in for their pit stop yet. So that is the why that is over a minute 54. But they'll be due to come into... In fact, they're in the pits now. So there we go. So that gap will come tumbling down. The HRC team can be very, very happy with their work today. I think, obviously, we know how much... I mean, you said, I think it was 85% full throttle around this circuit.
Yes.
So if they're 3 to 4 kilometres per hour slower in a straight line than the Ferraris and Porsches around them, you have to tip your hat to the Acuras for the work they've done.
Oh, absolutely. But accompanying that fact again, 85% of full throttle, that's the easy part of racing, is when you get your foot flat to the floor after getting the traction out the corners. The hard bit is gaining the time then through the corners and into the braking zones itself. So being that it's only 15% of the lap, it's even more important to get it right. And so it's all still the more impressive though for the Acura cars out there, being that they do have a slight reduction potentially in the top speed over those around them.
Yeah, indeed. So let's see what the gap will be between the HRC Gamma Sim team over Ferrari Rosso when the pit stop comes to an end. Cloudy day, it's saying, according to the weather forecast there on the side. Ferrari Rosso out the pits. Daniel Molina continues on for yet another stint as Aiden Johnson is only just entering the Porsche curve. So it's a good old gap still, but it isn't the minute 55 that it is saying on the top. The timing tower will sort itself out after the pit stops, and that gap will come down to its what it will be, which I think was around the 50-second mark, wasn't it? Roughly around about that.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Before the round of pit stops. So, yeah, Daniel Molina doing the job. And let's not forget, if you haven't joined us for the previous 22 hours of racing here, this team has been quickest in qualifying, Hyperpole, free practice 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they're in for the Grand Slam of first places here. All they need is the fastest lap to take the overall Grand Slam. And there we go. Look, the timing tower is now just sorting itself out. 45 seconds, roughly, is the gap between Daniel Molina and the Acura of the 137 Aiden Johnson car.
Yeah, I would say, unfortunately, they're not going to get that fastest lap either, but they are probably not fussed about it in the car or the team at large itself. Simply because the track temp's too high at this point. It has increased a touch more. It's rounded up to 39 degrees track temperature. Ambient air temperature only 21 degrees. So I'm no physician. I can't work out how that works, but probably just the tarmac getting baked in the sun, I'd imagine. But yes, the track temp far too high really to be setting fastest laps out there now. So I think what we have got, being that the Porsche Astrolith car with a 3-minute 24.139, no doubt that will be the fastest lap of this race. But doesn't mean to say that they can't get near it, but I don't think they're going to be beating it.
Yeah, but like you say, how much are they bothered about that? Because at the end of the day, that will mean very little to them. It's the race win that they are after, and it's the race win that they are looking to try and get. And just been joined in the studio for a Dr. Pepper top-up. So we're currently going through our drinks pit stop. The porter bottle's being refilled, and away we will go for the last hour and 54 minutes. and it's been rather mild in the UK as of late, and all of a sudden this morning I've had to open the window, turn the fan on. It is very warm. Not enjoying this right now, but I suppose it's better than being in the sim and really cooking up a sweat trying to drive around here for the remainder of this race. Michael Simpson in the BMW M Team TSR car, number 25. They're being caught by the Porsche Fischer Hypercar just behind the number 9 of Benjamin Fischer himself, who is just starting to catch up to the BMW. And I must say, as much as I've enjoyed that Acura livery, look at that, the Porsche Fischer Porsche there. Was that just helping out its sister team in the Hypercars by just almost being a bit of a rolling roadblock to the BMW Hypercar in front? It hasn't worked because the Porsche Fischer Hypercar has been stuck behind the Aston Martin.
I mean, it looks that way, doesn't it? But I mean, at the same time, that they would still be looking to defend their position from that Aston Martin. So I don't think I would look too deeply.
I think that's a
that
lapped Aston Martin.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Fischer GT3 is P3, and it's not the Vortex one that's P6. So I'm not quite sure which Aston Martin that is behind the Porsche behind. So, yeah, I don't think it's defending from it at the moment, Ash.
Forget what I said then. Never mind. Maybe that was a little bit of teammates helping out each other.
No, that's P15.
Came off it. No. There you go then. Poised by VF, P15 then in this race. Haven't seen much of them, have we really?
No.
This evening, or indeed through the last sort of 22 hours of racing, Matthew, and they've just been quietly getting on, but not really fighting at the sharp end of things.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be pleased with their efforts in this one, and yeah, P15. No matter where the drivers finish in this race, let's tip our hats in, because they have all done a fantastic job out there over this 24 hours. So don't matter where you finished in this race, congratulations to you all. You're all winners in our eyes, because you have put on a fantastic display here. Sebastian in the virtual grandstand saying the LMP2 Pro battle is so intense. That'll be between the Impact and NOP car for second and third, and turn 1 are only 7 seconds off the back of this as well. So maybe a three-way fight for the podium here in LMP2 as this race resumes on. But this is the battle between the Porsche Fischer Hypercar and the BMW M Team TSR car number 25 for what will be 7th and 8th in the Hypercar class so far.
Not far behind them either is Andre Diaz in his BMW, so only just under 5 seconds. So if these guys really do start to fly hard, then this could become a three-way battle as well. But yeah, first of all, Fischer needs to get right up onto the rear bumper there of Simpson's BMW, just really to try and potentially get past if they can. But they'll have the slipstream, but at the moment, not close enough.
No, not close enough at all at the moment, and yeah, they're just working hard to try and get there. When did these two last make a pit stop? So Porsche Fischer, they both pitted within the BMW pitted last lap, the Porsche Fischer car pitted 2 laps ago. And also look in the background there's Andre Diaz in the BMW M Team DRT car, only 5 seconds off the back of these two, so getting a little bit closer as well to make this one a three-way fight for P number 7 in the Hypercar class. So we'll keep our eyes on how this one develops throughout the entirety of this race. Murray Adams in Hypercar as well. There's only 13 seconds off the back of Aidan Johnson for second and third in the Acura battle. So we'll keep our eyes on that developing as this race goes on. Virtual Power in LMGT3 lead by 5 seconds from the double stint by TSR BMW. So we've got a good fight developing in LMP2 between second, third and fourth of Impact car number 7 NOP and turn 1. LMP2 Pro-Am is a little quieter at the moment, and then we've got a few fights developing here. And was that the Porsche Fischer car going side by side just at the foreground there? It wasn't, no, so they may have just been putting a lap on a car. I did see them side by side with somebody, but no, they're still behind the BMW for the time being. They must have put a lap on what looks to be the Vortex Aston Martin just a little bit further in the background. So, yeah, interesting to see these battles starting to develop with an hour and 3/4 to go.
Certainly. They're developing, aren't they? Again, this is sort of hit a bit of a calm moment in this race. Still riding on board here with Benjamin Fischer in his Porsche, chasing down the BMW M Team TSR, sorry, as last lap times as they cross the start-finish line there. So it looks as though actually the BMW just a touch quicker than the Porsche. Not by a lot though, so still very much giving it everything they can, and no doubt the gap might drop back down again. But final warning there for car number 37, improper full course yellow / virtual safety car procedure. Final warning, number 37. Who are we looking at there, Matthew? Have you found them?
I have not.
Oh, I've got them. Here we go. That's poised by VF. Joey.
Oh, there we go.
Marcel, oh, sorry, I'm going to butcher that last name. I really do apologise, but Rolick, I'm going to go with. But
this was the car that you've just said that we've not seen a lot of tonight, and they're on their final warning. So, yeah, there we go.
Keeping it clean, then you would argue, going this long and only getting the final warning now.
Yeah, indeed, and fair play to them. An hour 48 left to go, and they've only just received that final warning after 22 hours of racing. I'm noting that the La Sarthe car has got ahead of the Porsche Pax after the latest round of pit stops in Hypercar by some 5 seconds. So La Sarthe, as we know, has had a great opening first half of the race, didn't they? Was really in control of this race, pretty comfortable in the lead, and then it all kind of spiralled for them after the 12-hour mark, didn't it? And they've tumbled down the order a little bit. Warning for car 7. That then is the Impact number 7 car for improper full course yellow virtual safety car procedure there then. So Matthias Henriksen picking up a warning as well. He'll want to keep out of any stewards' inquiries till the end of this race because he doesn't want to lose the podium here.
He'll keep it clean, I'm sure. I'm just trying to work out, have they has he actually been closing in on the sister team in the LMP2 class there? Because of course we have an Impact 1-2 in the Pro class. Elias Lupanen leading in the number 6, and Matthias Henriksen in the number 7. Both Scandinavian drivers, Finnish and Swedish, respectively.
Well, the answer to your question there is yes. Look, over the last 3 laps, he's taken 2.5 seconds almost out of Lupanen's lead there. So, yeah, Henriksen has been chipping away. Both pitted on the same lap as well, 291. And they're on 297 in terms of laps for the LMP2s. So, yeah, I would argue that Henriksen is closing in here. And he's also been pulling away from the NOP car behind by a little bit. So, yeah, he's doing the business at the moment, is the Swedish driver, Matthias. I wonder what the team call would be if we get to the dying moments of this race and there's a chance for these two to win. Would they give it as almost a multi-21, stay as we are? Or a multi-6-7? Oh, no. I didn't mean to do that.
Hand gestures. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. I don't know, in all honesty. I've got a funny feeling there would be no team orders, but like you say, at the end of the day, they will want to make sure that they bring those cars home in one piece. So we may see some team orders. We may see it. It's I wouldn't rule it out, but I feel like they would want to give each team their best chance should the opportunity arise. Yeah,
I think the team might say. I think it depends on when they catch them in regards to how long is left in this race.
Yes.
I'm going to get a bit of stick for that comment, I think, when I jump in with a few of the others that's in the virtual grandstand later on today. I think they're going to be all over me about that comment there. Tanner's already told me to go and take a time out in the cup. Meme material there, says Glitch. No team orders, says Mason. So It would be interesting. See, Sebastian saying, I would place staying out of trouble, consistency, and the ability to stick to the rule book on higher contributors to outright pace through to play ahead in this one.
I can see you've been given a drive through there, Matthew.
Well, rightly so, to be honest with you. I can't blame them.
The virtual grandstand has spoken.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it very shortly. I've got 3 laps to do so. Yeah, I'm not going to live that one down now. Brilliant. Impact papaya rules. You can race, but don't touch each other, says Mr. Titan in the chat. Yeah, and quite rightly so. You know, I think had we been on the last lap of it, they may have just said hold station. You know, you've done all you can, but hold the station, lads. Let's bring these cars home. Especially with NOP only 4 or 6 seconds off the back of Impact Car 7. If they can stick to that kind of gap, if they do close in on the number 6 Impact car as well, it will be about bringing the cars home 1-2, won't it? If there is NOP or turn 1 around a close margin by the end of this race, they're not going to want to throw away a 1-2, and if both cars end up in contact and that allowed NOP and turn 1 to get through, and one of the cars doesn't even get a podium, they'd have their head in their hands over that one. So yeah, I think it's going to depend team order wise on what stage of the race we're at before anybody makes that call for the team.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll try not to get too ahead of ourselves. They've still got 18 seconds between the pair of them, but it is being chipped away still. In terms of the sort of overall race itself, Ferrari Rosso still got an advantage of 45 seconds over the next car of the HRC Gamma Sim, and then the HR team BPM is in third. Only 9 or 10 seconds separating those two Acuras, so that could be something to slowly keep an eye on if we see Murray Adams pick up the pace. Oh, look at that, even the Porsche Asalif not far behind either, and the Porsche Pax car as well, just for good measure. There's still definitely some podiums that could still be yet to be decided here. I mean, we're talking about it like it's the final 5 minutes, but we've got an hour and 40 and anything can happen.
What do you think? We've got about 2 pit stops remaining in this race?
If it's green to the end, yes, about that. If you're in the LMP2 car, it may even be 2 and a splash, if you were to pit now. So
I'll have to wait and see then. I've been given a stop and go 500 for the bad joke in the chat there by John, who's giving me a stop and go 500. Now what has happened to the Screeching Mooses, who have been absolutely door-barged into the barrier? Oh, hold the brakes, hold the brakes, hold the brakes! And he does just in the nick of time before rolling into some oncoming traffic as well. And for Adrian there in the Screeching Moose's car, could this bring out...
This could be VSC.
Another VSC or a full course yellow. Oh, they was 3 wide there, approaching a Screeching Moose's car, facing the wrong way. I'm sure the car on the closest to the Screeching Mooses may have been heart in mouth there, but... What an incident that was between the GT3 and the Hypercar coming down towards Indianapolis.
That was some very replay. I thought there might have been further contact when we saw the Moose car back onto the circuit. Thankfully, held the brake stopped, and everyone was able to navigate around them. And still no call from the race control. So really feel like it wasn't necessary to throw something there, because of course we've seen the Screeching Moose team get back under their own steam, but that really was quite a scary moment.
Yeah, it really was, especially rolling backwards onto the racing line as oncoming traffic was approaching. Here's Andre Diaz now. You can see the Porsche Fischer car just ahead. He's going to split the Porsche GT3. And now one of the LMP2s and the BMW M Team DRT. This is for P8 and 9. He's going to separate the Ford Mustang. And in towards the chicane, goes side by side with the Porsche Fischer car. Sorry, that's at the Mulsanne corner. And comes out still behind. But Schumacher, Hakkinen-esque there. And as the Porsche Fischer's just let him go there. Okay,
why?
I'm really unsure on that one.
An odd decision by the Porsche Fischer team, I feel like. Benjamin at the controls still. I mean, from what I can see, it's good racing, honest racing. And I mean, if he pulled the move off into the corner, that would have been absolutely spectacular. Maybe we can get a replay of why that is. Maybe the onboard camera perhaps didn't pick something up as they went side by side around that Mustang, because into Mulsanne corner, I didn't see anything wrong with this.
Oh, just pull out the way. Just pulled out the way for him.
Odd one.
Yeah, very strange from the Porsche Fischer car to have just yielded a position there. My only thought is, are they fuel saving to try and do something with their strategy towards the latter stages of this race? That could be my only question on that one, because that is a very odd decision as to why they would just move out the way. They've lost a lot of time to that BMW as well over the course of this lap. So, yeah, a real interesting one to see why the Porsche car there got out the way. Tri-State are in the pits in LMP2 Pro-Am. We do have a great battle developing here. 16 seconds separating Porsche packs from the HRC Gamma Sim team for the podium as well, between the top four in the between second and fifth in the hypercar category. There is P2 themselves. And there is the other Acura at the moment. There you can see the Porsche Sarthe car. About to put a lap on impact car number 7, or doesn't, through the S's. There you go. So just patiently waiting to do that. I'm probably going to get him on the exit here, down onto the Mulsanne straight, using its superior speed of the hypercar, and a flash of the lights, through he goes. Yeah, I can see why you would be happy there. Although it is, you know, the ruling is that the faster cars have to do the overtaking when holding, when lapping the slower drivers. It's the slower drivers' job and responsibility to just hold their line, isn't it? So as long as he didn't block and impede the Porsche Sarthe car, not a lot that the number 7 Impact has done wrong there.
They'll just have to build a bridge and get over that one, I think. What are we getting a replay of?
Or the Mooses
here?
Again.
Oh no. Ooh. Takes the run off. Goes through. Yep, there we go. Nicely and neatly
Did you
done.
see the wiggle under the braking there?
Yeah, that was the bit that I thought maybe they were going to lose it completely, but they didn't. This is another view of that. And now, they backed out of that.
Is that a subsequent reaction of the car just feeling a little bit wounded from its incident it's just had towards Indianapolis a lap or two ago?
Must have been. They've probably lost a little bit of confidence behind the wheel, potentially a little bit of the downforce as well, hence why it looked like they backed out of the entry to the chicane there and took that run off. So, yeah, not having the best of luck and the best of time in these closing stages.
Yeah, indeed, they are not. And we got just over an hour and a half left to go in the race. And this is going to be an interesting end to see what will happen as this race progresses on. Here is the Porsche Fischer car once again, who is in the slipstream of that BMW in front. So is it just trying to use the slipstream and do a bit more fuel saving to go that little bit longer? There is the Screeching Moose's Corvette, who's about to be lapped, coming into the Porsche curves by the Porsche car. Benjamin Fischer aboard that one. And also, in turn, is that the 99 Acura about to lap the Porsche car as well? It's just being held a little bit here, so this will be allowing the Porsche Sarthe car to gain a little bit of time. As Murray Adams, look, just being held a little bit through the Porsche curves by the Corvette and the lapped Porsche Fischer machine. And Murray Adams is going to come into the pits. Remember, these are off strategy towards the leaders by about 4 or 5 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see what they will do. But into the pits comes Murray Adams.
Well, I'll tell you what, pitting now, providing we stay green all the way to the end, this is going to be pretty much splitting the into 2 pit stops, of course. And the nice bit about that is the fact that it's almost a full tank between the 2 pit stops. So I would actually argue this is not a bad time there for the HRC team to make this pit stop. It's going to be interesting between the other teams though, because they have still got a few extra laps on board their car. As there is the Porsche Asalif of Stefano Giovannoni. And this is Andre Diaz going, oh, these two BMWs back at it again, side to side, then down the Mulsanne. As I'm just trying to work out which two drivers it is. It is between Simpson and Andre Diaz then this time. As now coming into the next zone. They are also not too far behind the extra hypercar there. Right in front of them, of course, they have been lapped though, so they're not fighting each other. But that will help in terms of slipstream, just a touch. It's now trying to get the pictures and shots through the trees as they make their way up to the next chicane. Still holding line astern, 1-2 there. Having a little look, going defensive is Andre Diaz, feels the need to take that tighter line to hold the track position as the car behind goes deep, and that's going to be much slower there for Michael Simpson then, out of the exit of the second chicane, and another flash of the lights. I'm not quite sure why he has been a bit disgruntled by that one, because it looked to me as if Diaz just took a nice defensive line, held the line as well, and put the car where he needed to. So good defensive driving there from Diaz. You are just joining back in to see how everything has shaped out here for the 24 Hours de La Sarthe here on ACV TV. We have got 1.5 hours remaining, so not that long at all left here, as that is Cars Keppers for Velocity Vanguard. Just having a bit of a battle with Björn Philipsen. Impact number 7, I believe the number 7 car there has just come out of the pit lane, so slightly cold tyres, warming them up, bringing them in, hence why the Velocity Vanguard was able to take the spot. But they are not fighting in terms of class, but they are of course fighting in terms of the category they are taking part in. So currently there, the Impact car number 6, they're still leading the LMP2 class. The NOP car is some 20 seconds back and still very much in this fight. Jose Barbosa in the RSE team racing, they are first in their car class and third in the overall category. And now Cars Keppers jumps up to 4th or 2nd in his class there with the Pro-Ams. Be expecting the hypercar class, the leaders, eventually in the next sort of 5 laps or so to start making what would be their second to last pit stops, providing my maths is on point and how long these cars can go. Like I say, it's around about 11 to 12 laps the hypercar can go on fuel, depending on what the driver is planning on doing. The point which we still don't quite know the answers to is in regards to the tyres, is are the teams able to single stint them now, or are they still having to look after them a touch and double stint a few of them out there? But we just saw Velocity Vanguard get past the Impact car, number 7 Impact car here, and then have now immediately come into pit lane to make no doubt what will be their second to last stop, but that's going to be a bit touch and go for the LMP2s. They do get about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So an hour and a half, less than that now remaining to the end of the race. That's going to be a little bit touch and go there then for the Velocity Vanguard team. May need to make a splashy dash as well before the end of this race, because of course still have the cool down lap to do once we see that checker flag. This is further up though with Andre Diaz, as we saw them make the move earlier on, getting past the BMW M Team TSR. They've now opened up a little bit of a gap between themselves and the car of Michael Simpson, as the gap's just opening up a little bit here as we make our way into the final stretch of this race. Matthew, I think you're back now as well, and I think I'm gonna match you in taking a short pit stop of my own. But just before I do that, in terms of sort of what is happening here on the circuit, we've just started to see, I think, a few of the LMP2 cars making their pit stops, and I'm just a bit in doubt whether they can get 2 stops to the end or whether a splash and dash might occur. And in terms of the Hypercars, should they start pitting now, although I think it is within the next 5 laps, they definitely will be able to get 2 stops to the end.
Yes, well, we'll wait and see what happens in terms of the pit stops here. 1 hour 28 minutes left to go in this race. And make sure you aren't joining the Formula 1 just yet. Put it on record, because we've still got the dramatic climax to this one here on ACV TV. So stick around for the end of this. It's the HRC Gamma Sim team now into the pit lane for potentially their penultimate pit stop of the race. But, I'm wondering here if the HRC team PBM are in a better position than the others around them, bar Ferrari Rosso, because at the moment they have already done their pit stop and will still have at least one more to go. But will that be a full tank of fuel to get to the very end of this race? Let's wait and see what develops though as the race goes on then. The gap in LMP2 Pro-Am is 1 minute 55 seconds. But this is Daniel Molina, your overall race leader in the Ferrari Rosso car that has had a lot of ups and downs as the day has gone on. And it's looking like it is on course to take a race win. 1 minute 4 ahead of the Porsche Asalith car. But that is obviously due to the fact that the 2 Acuras have taken their pit stops. So we'll wait and see what happens when the next round of pit stops comes for the 2 Porsche cars here, in what should be a very interesting end to this race. An OP lead in LMP2, but they're I don't believe they have made a pit stop. At this moment, the 2 Impact cars would have both been into the pits. And Virtual Power leading LMGT3 by 11 seconds at the moment. So, yeah, interesting race just playing out. Myself and Ashley Denman bringing you the action till the very end. Ashley has just gone away to take a quick toilet break. Mr. Titan in the virtual grandstand saying that the Acura could only have a stop left compared to the Ferrari with 2. I think the Ferrari's got this one covered though. I think it might take a safety car to bring the pack back together to get the Acuras in the chance of the race win here, because Daniel Molina seems to have this one covered off at the moment. When was the last time they was in the pits? I've just accidentally closed the timing tower on my computer, so let's get that one back up. Daniel Molina 308. Yes, we're now on to 317, so they'll be due a pit stop imminently. And once again, thank you all for being a part of what has been a fantastic 24 hours of La Sarthe here as we approach the final hour of the race. Big shout out to everybody who has taken part in this event and the team with us all. Ashley is back with us now. Ashley, just trying to do some calculations, I believe the 99 Acura might be in for a last stint of a full tank of fuel to get them to the end of this race here, due to the fact that they are slightly offset compared to the other teams. They've already done their pit stop, and if they can get a bit closer towards that hour mark, especially around that 50-minute mark, they might be able to fuel save and only have one more pit stop to do. If not, it could be a splash and dash at the very end for them.
When they came in, I was trying to do the exact same thing. I think I worked it out that they should be able to get to the end with only one more stop. So
yeah,
the issue, well, I say issue, the downside for them, yes, it's nice and easy that it should be 2 full tanks that gets them to the end from their last stop. The problem is the other teams around them, when they do their final stop, it's going to be a lot shorter. So I don't actually know if it really plays into their advantage. The only thing that would change that, again, is a VSC or a safety car itself. So that's the bit that you have to think about as we're getting a full course yellow.
We're about to get a full course yellow, so this will help them in terms of fuel saving here. And why are we getting this full course yellow? Unsure at the moment. Is this what has happened? That is the
full course yellow.
The Lamborghini into Indianapolis.
9, 8, 7.
That is the 967. Oh, drops the rear on corner entry, and a big hard hit into the wall for the Lamborghini. Yeah, the rear wing bouncing into the middle of the circuit as it drags itself out the gravel. That's a little broken on the rear. I've seen the virtual safety car been given for that. So very surprised to only see a full course yellow at the moment, because we have seen a few times over the night that the virtual safety car did come out for that one. It is still parked up at the side of the road, so Lamborghini is off, and that is the 967 car.
I think luckily where they are, they're way off the racing line, and that's the sort of point of the circuit where you shouldn't really see any incidents go that way, because they're sort of tucked behind the barrier still, in a sense, as you come down into Arnage from the Indianapolis corner, and you're really just weaving to the left side to open up the right-hander of Arnage. So I think it should stay to full course yellow, providing they get permission to get the tow, as I think, they just did there.
Yep, so that should put an end to the full course yellow, which will help the Acuras on that little bit of fuel saving that they have just done, to maybe just try and extend with a bit more fuel saving through this stint to go that extra lap longer. We know they can do the extra lap over the other cars due to what they use less in mileage. NOP as well is the luckiest team on earth, says Mason.
They are.
You stay there, the luckiest team on earth, but if they
were in the pits through the full course yellow, and of course they were in before it got called. They really are. It's happened twice now, both the times to their benefit. They are very lucky at this moment.
Well, then it has gone the way of NOP once again.
10, 9,
brilliant.
8,
NOP, a bit of the rub of the green for them in the latter stages of this race.
3,
and
2, 1.
Now I'll wait to see if the timing screen corrects itself. But otherwise, they could have a 46-second lead here, and I believe it's starting to correct itself now. So we'll see what the gap is when the timing tower does work itself out. But NOP lead the way in LMP2 Pro.
I think it'll be closer to the 20 mark, although no, we're already under that. It's 14-13 still going down as they try to warm up their tyres. That will continue to drop actually a bit, because they have just re-entered the circuit on that brand new set, so they are going to be cold and impact the number 6 car. They pitted some 2 laps ago, so they will already be up to temperature, because that full course yellow was pretty short, as now we are back under green racing conditions.
We are indeed, and that gap seems to have sort of stayed at around that 13-second mark, but it obviously is coming down to NOP tyre warm up, having to get the tyres into the correct window. Just about to sneeze, so apologies a second. Oh, excuse me. I managed to mute in time for that one. But yeah, NOP, I tell you what though, 48 seconds ahead of the number 7 impact car. Does that ruin the impact?
Almost a pit stop.
Yeah, almost the 1-2 result for impact gone there. Oh, that was one of the Acuras going wide, and that's given the 99 Acura P3. So the Gamasin went deep. There was already a car off at the Mulsanne corner. Not quite sure who it was, but the 137 Acura also followed him into the gravel trap there. And that's allowed Oliver Clark, who's taken the cockpit of the 99 machine, to go up into the podium spots himself. So the easiest overtake he's probably had to make all day. And onto the podium sits the 99 Acura with probably one stop left to go.
I was going to say, I think it was both the Acura of HRC Gamasim and Porsche Pax. I think they were fighting it into Mulsanne corner and clearly just overshot it, the pair of them, into the gravel. And like you say, Oliver just said thank you very much and happily picks up that podium. And he's just made the stops and he's already got ahead of his two competitors. So he'll be looking to charge now to try and build up a bit more of a gap to see if he can cement that podium at the bare minimum, and if anything else maybe goes his way, try and see if he can improve on that further still. But yeah, getting towards this final hour mark, we've had over 22 hours of racing, almost 23 done, and it will all come down to this.
It could indeed. So JD Daniel in the Porsche Pax car. Let's see what they can do here.
I'd love to get a replay.
Yeah, I would as well. I'm just trying to see some of the comments in the... I'm not going to read some of these comments out in the virtual grandstand, but there's a few things being said in there that...
everyone here can read it themselves, can't they?
That's what I mean. It just reads us a little bit of a sour taste on what has been a fantastic race.
Yeah, I can understand the frustrations.
100%.
Is reading them, but that's racing. You know, it happens. Sometimes these things, they swing in your favour. Other times they go completely against you. But I can understand, after all the hard work and effort that's gone into it, a decision that has not, necessarily gone your way, kind of screwing you a little bit over. I can certainly sympathise and empathise there with the frustrations from a couple of I would imagine, the drivers in the virtual grandstand.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go as well. So if there is anything else to happen, it could fall in the way of impact next time around. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting end to this race to see what plays out. Indeed. So Ferrari Rosso and Porsche Sarthe are yet to make their latest pit stops. That's why the gaps look so big between the two of them, and then between them and the Acuras. But this could be an interesting end for the podium in the hypercar class. We'll see where the Porsche Sarthe car comes out after it does its latest pit stop. I feel like the Ferrari Rossos are in control of this. I feel like it's going to take a full safety car to put them under any sort of pressure. The only pressure they've got now is the fatigue of the drivers. That is going to be the pressure they've got to handle, because they are in the box seat and in comfortable control of this race. Yes, it won't be a minute 11 by the time they've done their pit stop. It will be around that 50-second mark, and into the pits comes Andre Diaz for the BMW M Team DRT, car number 31. Into the pit lane here then from P number 7, who was fighting with the Porsche Fischer car a little earlier on. So where is the Porsche Fischer dropped off to? But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on for sure. Good morning to the number one Finn fan in the chat. That is another friend, Gray Langley. Good morning to you. Who would have awakened from his slumber in Florida. And this is the battle for potentially a net P3. Porsche Sarthe now into the pitch. JD Daniel in the Porsche Pax car, putting pressure on the HRC Gamasim Acura. And all of a sudden, depending on where the Porsche Sarthe comes out of the pit lane, we could have a real fight on our hands for a net P3 here.
It certainly could. I mean, looking at the gap, I've got a funny feeling the Porsche Sarthe, if it's in the pit lane now, I think it's going to come out closer, in fact, to Oliver Clark's Acura, who is a little bit up the road from these two. But let's keep on board here and see, because it is going to be pretty close indeed. Now through the Corvette curves and towards the Ford chicane, got a GT3 just in front of them, may get held up slightly then into the chicanes, but I mean, you're going at such slow speeds it shouldn't cost too much time. They'll get them very easily on the exit when they get their foot down flat, and hit exit is the Porsche par. Let's stay here with Porsche Packs. Can we see them on the right-hand side out of the pit exit? Yes, there they are. I believe that's them indeed. Yes, it is. Look, they're going to be side by side into turn 1 or 2.
Yeah, they are indeed, and the Porsche Pats car joins them nearly in the rear there. So JD Daniel and the Porsche Aslith that will be getting its tyres back up into temperature and into the right window here will just be a little slower than the two cars around him, but it's about how quick he can get them tyres into the right window. And we have got a real fight on our hands for the third place spot in this race, it feels. And the HRC Team PBM Acura is only just a little bit up the road, and that you can see the superior grip from JD Daniel with warmer tyres cruising past the Porsche Aslith car, who just needs to stay with them now to be able to keep going in this race. There's a good morning to Alil in the chat. Apologies if I've got that wrong, who says Forza Rosso. Obviously joining in to see them lead this race. They're now into the pits as well, so we'll see what the gap is between the Acura and the Ferrari after the latest pit stops here. But safe to say, we've got almost a 4-car battle for second place in this hypercar battle at the end of the 24 De La Sarthe race. And Porsche Packs, HRC Gamma Sim, HRC Team PBM and Porsche Aslith will be the 4 teams fighting it out. And you can bet your bottom dollar now, Ashley, that this is going to be an all-out battle to the end. Now it's no more playing Mr. Nice Guy. The gloves are off, you feel, going into the last hour.
Oh, absolutely. The hard work's been done. Now you've got to see where you're going to... Well, you've set up camp, you're battle prepared, aren't you? Now it is time for the war itself, because there's going to be no hold barred here going into the final hour. Elbows out and all that. And yeah, like you say, a 4-way battle for P2 in the hypercar. Not just any class, the top class. That is quite something, isn't it, after 23 hours of racing? Let's see what it will be after 24 though. So still the final hour here on ACV TV and the 24 hours De La Sarthe. And what a thrill ride it has been so far.
It has been a thrill ride, and Murray Adams in the virtual grandstand saying I think it's more of a 3-way battle for third between PBM, Pax and Gamma. They kind of ruling out the Aslith car. Yeah, I'd say that they are still in there, Murray. He says I think the 58 will only need one more stop. 2 for everyone else, bar the 50, is what he's saying. So
I think the others also can do just one more.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I mean, Murray's been driving the 99, so he'll know a bit more than us. And Tannis decided to grass me up there. He says, great, Duffin has already cursed several teams in the last few hours, in which Gray responded with, wouldn't be a proper commentator without a little passion. There we go. So, at least he's not dropped me in it for the other comment that I made earlier.
I'm glad you're getting the flack for it and not me. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel like it's a bit personal between me and these two in the virtual grandstand. I'll have to have words with them when I chat to them later on. I know I'm meant to be doing a race later on with Gray and Tanner, so...
oh, God. You're still going even after all this.
It is at 10 p.m. tonight, so I do have a few hours to get some sleep before I do a race, and it's not a very long one, so, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'll have to have a few words with them too when I speak to them a little later. Tellings off might be the case, but yeah, what an event we've got on our hands here. Obviously, not only the hypercar battle, but the battle for LMP2. NOP getting the rub of the green with the last full course yellow. Impact number 6 are 9 seconds behind them. Impact number 7, 48, and they're actually coming under a little pressure now from turn 1, who's only a second or so behind the Impact number 7. So turn 1 all of a sudden have came in to contention for a podium, and what looked to be a simple 1-2 for the Impact team has turned into a potential 2nd and 4th in this race. In LMGT3, 14 seconds separate the top 2. Fisher looked pretty comfortable for the podium. They're 2 minutes ahead of the Vulture M Sport car. So we'll see what happens with the Fisher machine, but out front, look, Ferrari Rosso, after the timing tower has caught up since their pit stop, have got 1 minute between them and second place. So they are in control of this race right now.
That is so nice to have as a driver, knowing that the car next on the road behind you is a minute back, it really does help you relax and sort of keep your composure as well. So you don't feel like you have to drive out of your boots to make sure you keep pace. You know that, all right, if I lose, say, a second a lap over the next car behind me, that's all right. That's not a problem, because there's only going to be probably about 15 laps maybe remaining in this race. And, well, I'm pretty sure everyone at home can do the maths on that one. And that does not equal a minute, I tell you.
Just seeing a comment come in the chat from the Maestro. Warning for commentators. This is for me and you.
Oh, no.
If a curse hits again, the penalty will be to commentate a 24-hour replay of this race right after the finish line.
Oh, no, don't. I can't.
I hope everybody does really well till the very end. And I'm not going to curse anybody else, because we can't go another 24 hours.
No, I don't think I could manage that one. If I'm being honest. I'm struggling to manage this one at the second.
Yeah.
3 hours of sleep and a Red Bull is what's keeping me awake.
I tell you now, the first 3 hours sleep we had before our second stint in the commentary box felt, it took a little time to warm up, but we got into the flow of things. I know you stayed up to go and do your shopping. I had 3 more hours sleep, but I'm really struggling on this one at the moment. So yes, we are flagging a little bit, and just give a thought for our producer in the box, who's been going for 7 hours straight at the moment. Ahmet has provided you with great action throughout the entire. The Porsche Pax car there, nearly into the back of the Ford Mustang. Little twitch to avoid the rear of it, coming through the Porsche curves. The S-Lith car has just dropped off the rear slightly, but obviously is on that colder tyre.
Heavier fuel as well.
Exactly. Producer's note, the sleep gods are knocking on my door. So that is from Ahmet for everybody in the broadcast there. I don't think she's the only one, if I'm going to be honest, because I'm probably going to pass out by the time we've done these interviews.
Mason in the virtual Grand Slam. Grandstand. There you go. It's already hitting me now. Yeah, he's running on 3 hours and coffee. So in the last 24.
Yes,
sounds similar to me. So yeah, we're not the only ones here, Matthew. It's a lot of the guys watching, a lot of them participating will be doing a very similar sort of thing. But I mean, the nice thing we have over those guys, we haven't been in a car trying to navigate a circuit at 200 kilometres, 300 kilometres an hour.
Yeah. Warning for car 13, contact.
Who is that?
That is the Bravo Snow, P5 in LMGT3.
Wow, interesting.
Oh, very interesting there. We didn't see that one, so not sure what exact contact it was, but they've been given a warning for it, as this is the fight for the podium in Hypercar at the moment. HRC Gamma Sim, the black and yellow livery against the Porsche Pax all blue number 55 car. Trying to get that last podium as we approach the final hour of the race. And Sebastian in the chat, look at that. He's had 8 hours sleep. And Tanner. Jealous.
Oh, yeah, I am actually.
That must be nice. What a luxury. 8 hours.
Oh dear. Just looking down at the LMP2 class, Ryan McIntosh in his turn 1 has caught up now to the back of the number 7 Impact car. There is only half a second separating those two, similar to what we're looking at here, although this one actually a touch closer, just under 3/10 separating these two Hypercars. So 2 battles to keep an eye on, both of them for podium spots in their class respectively.
Sebastian just said getting excited for the team is more draining than I anticipated. Try driving for the team if you want to talk about draining. As here comes the Porsche Pax then to the outside line of the Acura as they approach towards, I believe, the Porsche curves. It has got ahead now of the HRC Gamma Sim Acura car. Later on the brakes into Indianapolis, not the Porsche curves, and the Acura takes that place back. And the Porsche Pax there, and that is all about not wrecking their car with an hour to go, because they are in this fight for a podium.
That was commitment into Indianapolis there from the HPC car. As we're getting, what are we getting a replay of here? It's Christopher Starsmore for Simcast. Oh, round they went at the Mulsanne corner. respectfully waiting for, I believe that was virtual power to pass, and rejoins the circuit, no problem.
Ryan McIntosh now in the slipstream for turn 1 over the number 7 Impact car. Pulls out to have a look down the Mulsanne straight. There you go, coming towards the second of the chicanes, looking for that inside line on the entry into it. Doesn't quite get alongside enough there, does Ryan McIntosh. So we'll have to fight that one down into the Mulsanne corner, use the slipstream in front, but the bonus for the Impact number 7, they're getting a bit of slipstream from the Porsche ahead, just to try and help them stay ahead of the number 11 turn 1 machine. Right, McIntosh there. Yeah, really trying to possibly distract the number 7 Impact car going into Mulsanne corner. There you go. And this is the fight you was just talking about, Ashley, for P3 overall in LMP2.
Yeah, it certainly was, and now we can see really how close it has come down to. This at this point, it is 2/10, and McIntosh in the draft of the Impact car. Are we maybe going to see a move again into Indianapolis? We saw the Hypercars do it just a short moment ago, and now we might see the LMP2s go at it as well. Round the outside for McIntosh. Has he got the braveness to keep it there? Looks to switch back into the left-hander of Indianapolis, but no, Impact stays ahead as it's still not done into Arnage.
It isn't done into Arnage at all, and Bjorn here is just defending for his life. Little slide out the Arnage corner, then onto the back straight towards the Porsche curves. There you go, and Ryan McIntosh really starting to put the Impact car under some great pressure. Pulls to that left-hand side of the circuit now, almost alongside that of the Impact machine. And Ryan McIntosh, I think, has got ahead here, but Bjorn trying to keep it up the inside line into the Porsche curves, and does so, almost squeezing the turn 1 car off the road. Great racing respect from the pair of them, pushing each other to the very limits that they can go to with 1 hour and 3 minutes to go. It is all on the line for the podium here in the 24 De La Sarthe race.
Oh, this is what we came to see, isn't it, Matthew? Brilliant nose-to-tail racing. Still, neither of them giving each other an inch, all within the respectful confines of the rules, of course. And yeah, absolutely exhilarating. I would imagine both of them have got the biggest grin on their face right now. They're battling for a podium. They've already raced as a team 23 hours at this point, final hour to go. And this, well, it's either of them could take this podium spot at the moment. It's neck and neck.
Indeed it is. Through in towards turn 2 and 3, the Dunlop curves. There you go now, and Ryan McIntosh is trying to throw everything at this one to make this move stick. We believe there will be at least another stop, maybe a splash and dash at the end for the LMP2 cars on their strategy. That is provided we don't go under safety car or full Coursiello, where they'll be able to do some fuel saving, and that might only leave them with 1 stop left in the race. But we're green flag for the time being, and Bjorn here really trying to defend from Ryan McIntosh, who seems to have the bit between his teeth, doesn't he? And he's in the slipstream on the Mulsanne once again. And how smart is he going to play this one? Will he look to make the move early, or will he think about doing it at the very end?
Surely you would want to do it towards the end rather than now. Looks to go right, covered off by the Impact car, and then sweeps back to the left. And now Ryan McIntosh surely got the overspeed there. Still no, inside line for Impact. Does get ahead. Now it's all about the exit. The up and under is on for McIntosh. Does pull ahead now on the exit of the first chicane, but it's still not going to be over. Bjorn will no doubt try and mount a counter-attack.
I'd love to get a replay of that, because it looked like the Impact car there had a moment on the curve, went a little deep through the first part of the chicane. That put him offline, and he missed the apex by a country mile through the middle part of the chicane. That really compromised his run on the exit of the corner. We can take a look at it here, down towards the first of the chicanes then. Or was this a little earlier on in the lap? I don't think this camera's going to show us exactly what happened. So this was Ryan McIntosh coming side by side. I believe this was towards Indianapolis earlier on, last lap.
The Porsche curves.
Oh no, it is the Porsche curve, sorry. So that's what happened at the Porsche curves. Hopefully we'll be able to try and see what happened at that first chicane, because Bjorn there definitely missed the apex of the middle part of the chicane, and that compromised his run through the chicane then. But they're side by side once again, coming down to the Mulsanne corner, and Bjorn back through. Oh no, in fact, is that the second? No, there we go. That's the replay. Sorry, yeah, look, he missed the middle chicane there, did Bjorn. And Ryan McIntosh just got that better momentum through the corner, and out he came and got that position done.
Yeah, I'd love to get a look at that camera shot that we briefly saw a glimpse of as it came in down that Mulsanne straight. I'd love to see the cars fly down it. But yeah, that was the replay, as I think my producer might be scrambling in their brain trying to figure that one out. It's not the biggest thing, don't worry about it. There it is, look at this. Look at that.
Oh, lovely
Stick
camera
on board with
angle.
it as well, because what a camera angle. All the cars filing down into the chicanes. You can see everything there. Brilliant.
I'll tell you when that would be good. Just after a safety car restart, that would look awesome.
Oh, yes.
I think just after a safety car restart, that camera angle, just to see them all flooding through, 3 or 4 abreast down the Mulsanne with the GT3s in the way. That would be quite the handy camera angle. Mega move from Ryan McIntosh, as Ryan Gill in the chat. And indeed, it was a mega move, but a slight mistake from Bjorn as well. And Ryan McIntosh then sat now in P3s. Well, we hope he's still P3 when we go back to the live screen, because it was a mega move. And has he been able to get that job done?
They're in the pits, I think.
Yes, they are. So they got the job done before the pit stop. So not too bad there from the Turn 1 car. How important, Ashley, would that have been for them to get ahead before the pit stop? That kind of gives them track position.
Or it does. The thing I'm worried about here is I now can't see when the Turn 1 car pitted last, but the impact car, number 7 impact car, pitted on lap 301. That was 9 laps ago. Can they get to sort of that 40-minute mark? They've got 20 minutes left. If they can't, there's going to be an extra splash for the impact car. The Turn 1 car is absolutely going to need to do a splash before they get to the checkered flag.
Ahmet, our producer in the chat, saying that, chat, I need you to cheer me on. Yeah, on the back of an 8-hour stint, 16 hours Ahmet has done in the production room today, bringing you all the camera actions and replays that we have seen on the circuit. There is Bjorn then back up into P3 with Turn 1 into the pit lane. And here is the Porsche Pax car that has dropped 3 seconds off the back of the HRC Gamma Sim team. So, in fact, actually, the Porsche Asaleth car has gained on them as well. So, tyres up to temperature and are starting to make good ground now.
Into the clutches of the Asaleth car, you could argue, couldn't you? There they are, all three on the screen there through the Ford chicane. Just dipping out a shot now was the Gamma Sim car. But yeah, not a massive gap to overcome. It is certainly doable, but yeah, Porsche Pax just losing out a touch. You can see there the lap times as they cross the start-finish. And I think the Pax car about a second slower than those around them. So clearly a little bit of extra work to be done. In terms of last laps as well, Santos in his Ferrari Rosso, he did a 27.4. Oliver Clark in the HRC team, they did a 27.9, so half a second lost from the overall leader. And then we saw the 28.4, 29.3 and 28.2 of 3rd through 5th.
Indeed, we did. And game on for the lead of LMP2 as well. 3.6 seconds separates the number 6 Impact to number 89 NOP. This is currently the battle for 4th place between the Porsche Pax and the Porsche Asaleth car. Number 55 and number 58. HRC Team PBM there, just a little bit of track limits has just brought them a slowdown to do on the circuit. So just pushing the limits a little bit too much. And Ferrari Rosso, what can we say about them? They've got this race. Or any fatigue or mental mistakes, they've got this one in the bag.
Well, you said don't bring any more commentators' curse into it. I hope you haven't, for your sake, Matthew. But no, you're right. I mean, in terms of what they're doing, they're looking pretty comfortable, aren't they, at the moment? A nice cushion, a nice buffer back to the next team. And they have been, I think, very much tipped for the favourites to win this event, haven't they? Right from word go, of course, led every single other session thus far. So now they just need to cap it off with the win here as well. And I think they'll be driving very much within what they can do as a 100%. They've probably toned it back to about 90 at this point in terms of their outright pace, because it's the last hour. You just need to bring it home.
That's it now, isn't it? You've got that 1 minute lead. The fatigue is fully set in. The tiredness is there. And it is just a case now of you've got that so much of a comfortable buffer. You don't almost want to do oh, hello, what's happened to the Acura? Because Porsche Pax has got the run over the Acura and has got ahead of the HRC Gamma Sim car. Not fully. I believe there's still a nose. Not anymore. JD Daniel moves up into P3. Porsche Asaleth are still there with the Acura as well. So what has happened to the 137? A lot of gravel we saw on circuit while we was riding on board JD Daniels' car. Was that from the Acura, who had a moment off somewhere? But the Gamma Sim team have got a lot of work to do again.
Yeah, surely that was them taking a trip through the gravel. We're going to get a replay here. Anthony Mafucci at the wheel into the Mulsanne corner. Are we going to see maybe a lock, or have they just simply overshot it? Oh, it's just a simple overshoot. I say simple. It's been a costly one for them. There goes the Pax Porsche through the Mulsanne curve, and we saw the rest after that. So costly mistake for the Gamma Sim team, and now they are firmly in the fight and battle for P3.
They are indeed, and Ahmet's little producer message saying, chat, cheer me on. We've had a lot of, come on producer, keep it up, go Ahmet. You're stronger than that. We've had a few cheery moments for our producer to keep them fully focused in this one. But yes, you're right in what you say. The Gamma Sim team there, have they just opened the door for the Porsche Pax or the Porsche La Sarthe car to maybe take away the podium and spoil Acura's day in this race then? Well, they're still in the hunt for P3. We know that lack of top-end speed on that Acura will hurt them. The bonus is they can get that extra bit of fuel out of the car, so could possibly go that extra lap to get the overcut maybe as we go towards the final parts of this race. Tanner reckons the final pit stops are within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That should see them through to the end, if that is the case. JD Daniel in the 55 Porsche Pax car now running P3 is only 13 seconds behind the 99 Acura, so not a million miles away from potentially being in the P2 spot. The problem is the PBM car can kind of control its race a little bit better than these three who are all scrapping for P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of pit stops as well, any car in the GT3 field that pits now or further on, they will absolutely make it to the end, no problem at all. I think that's most of the field still need to make their final stop. It's just a matter of how much fuel they want to add and how long that stop is. So gaps are a little bit further spread out down there, but I mean there is still theoretically a battle for the lead. Lucas Sequeira, Virtual Power, only 14 seconds over the double stint team. So we'll keep an eye on that on the timing tower. But we are, I think, firmly fixed here with the Hypercars, aren't we, Matthew? Because it really is heating up here in the final closing moments of this 24-hour race, and the podiums are still up for debate.
They are indeed. Number 6 Impact car for LMP2 is into the pits, so that will have to probably splash and dash towards the end unless we get a lengthy virtual safety car or full course yellow. The Impact number 6 car will have to pit again towards the very end of the race. So for them, their strategy is, I assume, push like crazy, and we'll fill up the fuel for that little short burst of a run at the very end of the race.
I would imagine it's something along those lines, but I mean, it's so hard to sort of guess really what they are doing, thinking, as there's a lot of traffic to be navigated here down the back straight towards Indianapolis. You can see there the Porsche Pack cars are getting crazy with the lights as the Gamma Sim team weaving in and out of the GT3 and Hypercars themselves, as the Asalif now also doing the same.
Yeah, almost got to carve their way through this field like you would a turkey on Christmas Day. Tell me about it. 6 months away. Impact number 7 as well into the pit lane as the Asalif car there, trying to just get onto the rear now with the HRC Gamma Sim team. Still a bit of traffic to negotiate at the moment for Fabio Camabella.
Down the inside, yeah, there we go.
Nicely done. So, this Hypercar podium battle is going to be one to keep our eyes on here. For sure, this is going to be an interesting fight to the very end. I'm just going to take a look quickly at fastest laps. No, still Ferrari Rosso without theirs. HRC Team PBM in, will have to splash and dash at the end. How much will that hurt them then? Obviously, they're out of sync. And are they going to get to the end on 50 minutes? I highly doubt that one. So we'll see what their strategy will be in the 99 Acura after their dramas. Remember when me and Ashley came back on air, just as myself and Ewan was finishing up, Ewan's stint in the commentary box, the Acura had a drama at this chicane from the lead of the race, and that's put it off sync with the cars around it for this race. And has the 99 got enough in the tank to get to the end with a bit of fuel saving maybe? Remember, they have to have enough fuel to complete the mandatory cool-down lap at the end of the race to get back to the pit lane, so it'll be touch and go for the 99 car.
I've got a funny feeling it's not enough. I really hate to say that. I think they are going to have to do a little splash and dash, but they are still in the pit lane at the moment, so by the time they get out it'll be a bit of a better they're out now actually, so yeah, almost 50 minutes for them. There's and you got the cool down lap like you said to remember. I think they'll have to put a splash of extra fuel in that car, unfortunately. The other car as well is the Impact number 7. They've also just done their pit stop. They will definitely need to do a splash and dash.
Yeah, need a fair chunk, so they will have to splash and dash. Murray Adams saying in the virtual grandstand that they will not have enough fuel, so they will have to come back in for a bit of fuel. So has that little mistake that was made earlier on in the race cost them the chances of a podium? Well, we'll wait and see. How far do we think these cars can go? Roughly about 40 minutes, do we think, per stint?
LMP2 is about 40 minutes, although let's raise that to 42, 43. Well, actually, no, you'd have to raise that to 44, 45 for the cool down lap to get enough fuel in the car. In terms of, sorry, no, you have to, I mean the other way, 36, 35 minutes to get to the checkered flag and then the cool down.
You say
I would
this.
imagine Hypercar, the same sort of thing.
You say this, but let's put into the scenario that the Ferrari Rosso car crosses the line with 30 seconds left to go.
Don't. That could also happen.
Teams have got to take that into consideration, haven't they? Now, they've got a minute in hand, so I'd like to assume they probably don't fancy doing the extra lap themselves either. But yeah, if they get to the line with a minute left on the clock, that's going to be too close to cut it to be lifting off to not have to do the other lap to save that fuel for the cool down. So could almost be 2 extra laps, obviously the cool down and that final lap, depending on what stage of the race we're at when the Ferrari Rosso comes to take the checkered flag, or comes to start the final lap, should I say.
You're quite right then. So in which case then actually you're getting closer to 30 minutes of racing left in order to be on the safer side of things if you're in an LMP2 car. For the hypercars, I would say then you're getting closer to 35 minutes or so, and the LMGT3s, they've already passed the threshold where they need to stop worrying about that so much.
Yeah.
So the majority of that field, if not all of them, I think have done their final stop or will be doing it in the next few sort of next 20 minutes, I'd imagine. So they'll happily and easily all get to the end without any issues.
Yeah, the GT3s go just over the hour, don't they? As there is the Acura off again, and the Gamma Sim team are starting to fall by the wayside here. And the Porsche Asaleth car have gone through into that third place at the moment, and have the Acuras cost themselves a podium in this race in this last couple of moments. Well, the 137 in the last few moments of the race. What a shame it would be for them. The hard work the Acura car has put in through the course of this one. What a shame for the 137 to have made that mistake again. And it's just these simple little errors of just dropping a few wheels into the gravel trap while you're under this pressure from behind is going to cost you massively.
We've been saying it since the sun came up, but it's fatigue at this point. That's what these little mistakes end up boiling down to. And it's simply because by this point the drivers, no matter how much sleep they have gotten, 24 hours of racing twice around the clock, it takes a toll on the mind. You are constantly calculating numbers and speed, closing distances. Your brain is moving at such a pace that it really does take a toll on you, whether you get enough sleep or not. And yeah, that is the signs of some cracks really showing there for the Gamma Sim team. And the fatigue taking its toll a little bit.
It must be indeed. Sebastian saying that the driver must be so mad at himself right now. And yeah, I assume the drivers who make them sort of mistakes at this stage of the race will be frustrated. But, like Ashley's just said, the fatigue is going to be crazy at the moment, especially if they're a 3-car team as well. That little bit more fatigue than a 4-man team who just are able to get that extra bit of rest. But yeah, bless them. They'll probably be kicking themselves in the teeth a little bit as this race goes on. They're not out of it, though. They're still in this race. They're only 5 seconds off the back of Porsche Pax. And anything can happen with 45 minutes left on the clock of racing here in the 24 de la Sarthe. Here we go. Ferrari Rosso leading the way with a comfortable margin. And this is one of the BMW cars here. It was, a big, big moment out of Tête Rouge. And will this be a full course yellow?
Big impact.
Safety car, there's a...
Safety car has been
my
deployed.
word.
Right then, this has thrown the race wide open.
Oh my God.
Full-blown safety car, so the pit lane will remain closed.
Car 212 just come to a stop.
That really does change things here, doesn't it? And that was the Velocity Vanguard team as well. They were second in their class. That is massive for them. Oh my God.
Actually, I'm just racking my brain a moment here. Does this bring the 99 back into contention with a bit of fuel saving?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And the nice thing for them is they haven't long ago done that pit stop. The safety car, of course, being taken around at a much reduced pace, and their competitors cannot get in the pits to make the stops themselves. They've now got, I would argue, a very big advantage.
Indeed, they will have. And what does this do for the complexion of the race? In the final 45 minutes, the safety car has been brought out. The pit lane will remain closed. And more importantly, the pack will all bunch up together. We will have the wave around to get cars in the correct order. And with the 3 Porsches and the other Acura still to pit, as well as, the 2 Porsches, the Ferrari and the Acura still to pit, the 99... have they just been brought back into contention here?
I feel like they could have done. I mean, we just Asalif and Gamma Sim, they're in the pit lane, I can see. So is that going to be against the fact that it is closed? Are they going to pick up a penalty later on? I mean, we were getting to the point where pit stops were going to be needed from the Hypercars. So that really could have thrown a spanner in the works for a lot of these teams, particularly if they have no choice but to pit because of fuel.
100% correct. So they could be facing a drive-through penalty potentially for pitting under the pit lane being closed. But obviously, we'll have to take it due to the fact that they was due pit stops anytime soon. The Aslif was going the longest out of the cars around them and Ferrari Rosso. So shocked to see them to have made that decision. And a full-blown safety car has been thrown here. Now, I'm just going to go and check the safety car procedures here. And I will try and find them on the regulations to read it out, just to double check that me and Ashley haven't missed anything there. But all night, the safety car has meant that the pit lane would be closed during that safety car period. I believe it has only remained open for the VSC. So could we be seeing 2 penalties being given to the Porsche Asalif and the HRC Team PBM teams in this race?
Number 50.
I fear that they had no choice in the matter, but rules are rules, and it's going to be a real big shame for them. Keep an eye on the Porsche Pax car as well, though, because they haven't done the pit stop yet, but they were also due to come in very, very soon as well in terms of when they last pitted. Luckily, the Ferrari Rosso, they pitted on lap 320. The HRC team BPM, they pitted on 326, so only 2 laps ago, and they should be able to go a little bit further, but is the safety car going to be out long enough that it offsets that 6-lap differential between them? I'm struggling to see a way that that can happen. I mean, this really has just thrown another twist to the tail, hasn't it, Matthew? I mean, last thing we expected was a safety car in the final 40 minutes of this race to close all of the cars back up together and to give us a real proper sprint to the checkered flag. And many cars were coming in and were due for those final pit stops. So it really has thrown a spanner in the works for many teams out there.
Yeah, it really has. I'm just trying to go through the regulations here just to make sure I can find the correct one. Eric Terry Hogg in the chat saying that the GT3 leader could be in trouble with fuel. Now, I wonder if that's because he may have been due to make his last pit stop, and obviously the pit lane is now closed. Murray Adams is suddenly awake again, so the adrenaline has re-kicked in for him.
It's the same for NOP. They've also had to come in, and we, do you know what? I feel like we can address this a bit now. For the people in the virtual grandstands earlier that were sort of somewhat cursing the way things were being done. Well, look at this. It's flipped back in the opposite direction, hasn't it? And all the things that went NOP's way, now it's gone back in the opposite direction.
And again, pit lane, if it is closed, they could face penalty for having to make their pit stop. Same for Simcast as well. And all of a sudden, yeah, like you say, swings and roundabouts, and it swings back the way of the number 6 Impact car. I'm struggling to find this, and this might be because of my tired eyes not being able to to find it as easier as earlier on.
What are you trying to find, Matthew?
Just to double check the procedure of the safety car so that we haven't missed anything in this one. But I am pretty adamant.
We've gone straight to a safety car.
Yeah.
So the pit lane entry will be closed when it is initially deployed. So as the pit car, the pace car, approaches pit entry, iRacing will display it open, but please ignore that. That's to the drivers, of course. The pit lane remains closed until race control announces that it is open. So it really has just changed it. It's thrown the race on its head right at the death.
Yeah, and also reading here, the pit lane will remain closed until race control announces it is opened over the voice text chat in the sim. The safety car period may end before the pit lane is opened. There shall be no guarantee of an open pit lane during a safety car period. So this is now down to the discretion of race control, isn't it, as to whether that pit lane is to be opened or not. And if they haven't opened the pit lane, then those teams who's had to pit could have fell foul of the rule, but obviously may have needed to. The leader of LMGT3 has just pitted as well. And have we had a message through say that pit lane is open? I'm not too sure if we have had that message through from race control, so
maybe Chris can confirm that one for us, but at the moment we're a little bit in the dark as far as I'm concerned.
Eric's saying in the virtual grandstand pit road is closed right now, so there we go.
Yeah, so anybody venturing in, which there's quite a few out there actually. Simcast have come in. Turn 1 in the LMP2 class, they've come in as well into the closed pit, we should add.
The HRC Gamma Sim and the Porsche Asleth also pitted under the safety car as well.
The stewards are going to be busy.
And they've got a very short window to be busy in, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Yep.
But this turns on its head. The 99 Acura all of a sudden springs into life. Ferrari Rosso will have to do another pit stop, and by the time the wave around has happened, the 99 is currently 3 minutes behind the Ferrari Rosso, but you can't take what is on the timing tower as guaranteed, purely because sometimes the timing tower just gets a little confused with these safety car periods, and it just throws the timings out of a little bit of sequence, so it might not be 3 minutes 15. I'm just wondering for Omet here. So there is the Ferrari Rosso car. You can see the number 50. Where is the number 99 on the circuit at the moment? It is coming through the Dunlop curves now, so I wouldn't say that's 3 minutes behind because it's only 3 minutes a lap, isn't it? So
it is, but what I will add, just to I think clarify this, because it's not the clearest thing. The sim itself is technically under green flag conditions. This is something that has been inputted by ACV TV to implement a safety car procedure. So we are of course showing safety car procedures. This is how it's being deployed. However, the format is technically still under green conditions, hence why the timing tower is showing you bigger gaps than they are, because everyone's at a reduced pace. So the timing tower is correct based off what would be under green conditions.
Yes.
However, we know it's not. It's yellow flags because the safety car is out.
And of course, when the wave around happens as well, that'll put HRC TPBM, when they get onto the back of the initial train of the safety car, and I'm looking at the track map in front of me, they've just come onto the Mulsanne. the safety car is just approaching Mulsand Corner at the bottom of the straight. So they've got a good chunk of section before they get onto the queue here. But with Porsche Pax and Ferrari Rosso still to pit, does this throw the door open for that 99 Acura, especially seeing as Murray Adams in the chat was saying that they're going to have to save a good chunk of time? Is this going to be the case now? I'm wondering if we could possibly get Murray back into the commentary booth quickly.
I bet we can.
For a quick word during...
Third time's the charm with Murray.
Yeah,
Why
third
not?
time's the charm. Just see if we can get him in for a quick chat. Just sort of see if this is going to help out the Acura, because obviously he said in the virtual grandstand that they're going to have to save, they're going to have to splash and dash and put in a chunk of fuel. So this really helps out at the moment.
Certainly does. Yeah, I'm almost, again, another point of this race where I'm almost speechless. I'll tell you, why don't we bring in Murray Adams here, Matthew, and potentially shed some light on the subject of this, because Murray, welcome back again. Third time we've seen you here over the 24 hours. Crazy, I know, right?
Actually, I've got a formal complaint to get passed on from my teammate. He says he's really angry that that this is going to be my third interview and he's not had a single one. He's really disappointed.
Well, I tell you what, if the team manages to do what feels like the impossible at this point, but maybe not so now with the safety car, maybe we can, of course, have a chat with him as well, being if you are on the top step. How is that looking for you at this point, Murray? Because you were saying fuel-wise, you were going to have to splash. Now with the safety car, has that potentially changed a bit?
Yes. Yeah. It's neat. It's
Oh,
neat.
sorry to butt in a second, Murray, there. I'm noting that the Car 20 BMW M Team BSS has got the meatball flag under the safety car. So an issue there for car number 20 running P6 in the Hypercar. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. It's going to be really neat. We are doing what we can, is all I'll say. I can't give you a definitive answer just now as to whether we will or won't get to the end.
Whether you do or not, even if it is a small splash, in the pit lane, surely the chances are looking good at this point.
We're going for win it or bin it.
Oh, I love that.
Love that. Yes.
We're going for win it or bin it. We aren't racing for second. This race has thrown a lot at us. I know Connor will be watching. We're racing for his dad, and I know he's desperate for a result. He really want a result, and we've done an awful lot right this race. We've not done it perfect, but we've done an awful lot right, and we're so close now. So if we can get the maths to work out, we think there's a non-zero chance we win the race. We don't think, we're not for sure, like we're not sure as to what's going to happen. We basically need the safety car to be out as long as we possibly can. We know the 55, the 58 and the 137, sorry, 55 are going to need to pit, 50 are going to need to pit, 58 and 137 are both due a drive-through. So that should, at that point, put us in the net lead. It's purely a case for us, can we get it home enough?
How is Oliver handling things currently in the cockpit of the car as well? Have you had a word with him?
Yeah,
over radio.
Yeah, spoke to Ollie. We initially were like, "Oh, that's a shame. That's a lap," and then we kind of quite quickly realised that. Oh, hang on a second.
What's going on here?
Yeah, this is. I was going to say it's quite adventurous, really. I think this is meant to be a wave round, but I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah. We kind of spoke to Ollie and we realised, hang on a sec, that we really have a fighting chance here.
All cars, please follow black.
And the longer this goes on for, the more it plays into our hands. Looking at the fuel number last lap, we might make it. We might make it. We're not sure. We genuinely aren't sure. And I'm not getting excited just yet. We actually had we had a glitch with our tyres. We'd managed to save up enough of our tyres so we could go 3 single stints at the end on the tyres, and we don't know how it's happened, but
Alright, prepare for pass around, prepare for pass around, all cars.
we've
pace on the
somehow
left
used
side,
an
pace
extra
on the
left
side.
rear. We've somehow used an extra left rear, so we're currently on 3 new tyres and one that's probably close to being bald, to be honest. So, yeah, it's we're going to need to run and hide. If we can get to the front here, we're going to need to run and hide for however long that is.
It sounds like that's the plan for you guys. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll let you knuckle under and get back into this, Murray, because it looks like it's going to be an action-packed half an hour here to the end. Good luck to you guys, and of course, Ollie behind the wheel as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Oh, Matthew, I mean, I don't know what we saw there whilst chatting with Murray for just a brief moment, but it's clearly the drivers a little bit of miscommunication from them and the race control. Not quite sure what it was exactly, but it's getting a bit hectic.
I thought I heard the message that they was to drop back. And I can't be too sure because I couldn't hear the race control message over Murray's interview there, but I thought I heard them to drop back to the back of the pack, and now they're giving the wave around. Also, just noting, the number 3 double stint by TSR has just been in the pit lane, and the BMW number 20 is also in the pit lane with the meatball flag. Depending on the severity of that meatball flag, is that going to cause the safety car to be out for a little longer? The wave around has just happened, so not sure what the confusion was. And is this... That's the number 30 coming... No, that's the number 20, sorry, coming into the pit lane with whatever meatball damage they had. It doesn't look like anything from there at the moment. So, drive-throughs coming the way, and for sure, the 99 Acura team are... Win it or bin it, I think was the phrase that Murray used there. And I have to say, big fan of that saying. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Fisher now leading GT3. And
handed the lead.
Yeah, well, Virtual Power and Double Stint by TSR have both been in the pits under safety car. And according to the virtual chat, the pit lane is still closed. The virtual grandstand are saying. So, that's a drive-through for them too. But also, has Vortex now got onto the lead lap? Could they be in for a shout of a podium here? By the time the wave round has been complete.
It's certainly a potential. But it's I'm still interested the fact that the car number 20 is still with the meatball flag next to their name. So that it still implies to me they've got a fair chunk of damage on board that car. I'm not sure how it is affecting them. Maybe if our producer could just jump on board with them just to see if there is any sort of... hands down on the wheel, or are they still in the pit lane? Yeah,
it says they're in the pit lane, so I think that was what Ahmet had just tried to find for us, was them coming into the pits for car number 20. It's strange to see what had happened there at the moment. So, yeah.
This potentially it being... Oh, here we go.
Well, it's definitely got
a left hand.
Yeah. Definitely got a broken suspension somewhere.
Or bent, at least.
BMW.
Being told 2 pit stops by the team in our area. Matthew, by our producer. I have no idea what's gone on there.
No idea. But the 137 and the 58 potential drive-throughs coming their way for pitting under the safety car while the pit lane was closed. And we know that the 55 and the number 50 have to pit again. There you can see the number 50. You can see the Porsche Pat's car is actually 4 cars behind the number 50 in this queue. I just wonder where the 99 car is, if Ahmet can show us where the 99 car is at the moment.
Probably a few more cars back, but not many.
Back. Yeah, quite a few more. But like you say, not many. And with them two having to make a pit stop, the longer this safety car is out, like Murray said, the better it will be for the HRC Gamma Sim team. Looking at the track map, if they're waiting for the cars to get onto the back of the train, there's 2 stragglers just coming through the Porsche curves at the moment. So that could at least be another lap of safety car racing. The Velocity Vanguard team are just about to come out the pit lane. The meatball flag has just gone from their screen, so I assume they're about to exit the pit lane then. But yes, a drama to end the 24 De La Sarthe here. Rosso Ferrari Rosso and Porsche Pack still to pit. Whew. Catch your breath, everybody. Grab a drink, grab a snack before the resumption of this race, because it is going to be a spicy finish to the 24 De La Sarthe here. Myself and Ashley bringing you the conclusion of the race with 25 minutes left on the clock. And I'm sure Race Control will want to get this race under green flag as soon as possible to get as much racing as possible out there.
Oh yeah, they certainly will do. But with a lot of cars sort of, well, still trying to catch the back of this grid, I think, where we've had a few in and out of the pits. And again, it was just you could argue an unfortunate timing of the safety car, in the sense of a lot of cars needed to pit, and of course with it closing the pit lane, it just meant that they couldn't come in without any penalties being induced. So this really has thrown things around and shaking it all up right at the death. And I think even when we get to the checkered flag, the stewards are going to have to work some magic, I feel, to get all the potential penalties out before that checkered flag dropping. Otherwise, the final results may still even change after we've seen the checkered flag drop. And
here's another thing I've just thought of, another scenario. If that Porsche Sarthe car and the HRC Gamma Sim do get a drive-through penalty for pitting under the closed pit lane violation, with the Porsche Packs and Ferrari Rosso having to do a pit stop, they're also on the back of the train going to the end of the race, them two are. Drive through quicker than a pit stop. Could the Ferrari Rosso team even be on the podium at this rate?
It'd be heartbreak if they're not. I mean, I feel like they're going to be ruining the safety car, because, you know, after the previous one we've had, they've been very much untouchable out front. I think there was only a brief moment where we were sort of thinking, can they, can't they, kind of thing of taking the win, but they've been pretty much on another pedestal, haven't they, of the recent sort of 2 hours. And yeah, I don't want to say it's all been thrown away down the drain at the last, but you got to feel sorry for them, because it just hasn't gone their way here at the in the last half an hour.
Don't forget that Murray was saying that the rear left on the 99 Acura has glitched out, and it's given them an old tyre, not a fresh set of new tyres for that team. So they're on an old tyre. And I want to throw another scenario out to you, Ashley. Have we gone full safety car instead of VSE into safety car due to the length of the race that is left, to try and get the resumption of this race underway quicker than VSE under full safety car?
Do you know what? I think that would have been the fairer way to do it, but you're right.
Green flag end of this
As we're getting told to go green at the end of this lap, so we'll see how this all shakes out. I think that would have been the fairer way to do it, though, is the VSC first, so that the pit lane's open, the cars can come in for their final pit stops, and then it's pretty much an all-out sprint to the end after the safety car would have done its business and brought us all back together. But alas, wasn't meant to be. They felt the need was a full-on safety car, and I'd imagine because that hypercar was very much, or the LMP2 car was in a very quick part of the circuit around the blind corner of Tech Rouge, and it would have been very difficult to recover otherwise.
That's a late call to get the safety car into the pits through the Porsche curves. Drivers are not allowed to weave and warm their tyres up after the corner after Indianapolis. The name is Arnage, thank you. The name has absolutely left my mind there. So drivers wouldn't have been able to have got tyre preparation done after Arnage, and a late safety car call into the pit lane here to get 21 minutes of racing underway. So then, I mean, what you would have got temperature-wise into your tyres from Arnage all the way through to the start line would have been sort of lost as they'd have gone through without being able to warm up their tyres. In fact, the safety car is going around for one more. So was that the call to bring the safety car in at the end?
It will dart off here, I believe. There it goes.
Oh, it does. Yeah, there it goes. Into the pits comes the safety car, and we go back to green flag racing. 21 minutes left on the clock, and there are plenty of black flags being shown on the screen for penalties, and that will be for pitting while the pit lane was closed. Everybody has been given their drive-through penalties. Race Control have obviously just done that very quickly to get this race and the result as classified as can be on the track. But we are back to green flag racing here at the 24 De La Sarthe. We are underway with the two leaders in Hypercar still to make their final pit stops of the race. Has the 99 got ahead? In fact, yes, the Porsche Packs have come straight in to do their pit stop. HRC Gamma Sim are straight in to do their drive-through. And all of a sudden, the 99 is looking the likely car to potentially win this race. But it needs to stay squeaky clean from here on in.
This is absolutely crazy. There's a car off in the background. Not sure who that was. It looked like one of the GT3 cars just coming a cropper through the first part of Tech Rouge. This might be a replay then of what has happened here. Adrian Subella for Team WSR. Oh, just getting tagged, and off goes the Corvette into the barrier as well. Oh, dearie me. Hopefully, we're not going to see another full course yellow or safety car now until the end, and we'll keep it green. Hopefully they got back up running fairly quickly.
The black flags have all been removed, so I don't know if they've been removed while race control double check everything that is happening there then. But at the moment, HRC Team PBM are the likelier team to win this race. They're only 10 seconds behind the Ferrari Rosso car, with Ferrari Rosso due to make a splash and dash pit stop at the very end. What a way to end this 24 hours of racing here then, into the final 20 minutes. Here's the Bravo Snow LMP2 car down in P number 6. A lap down at the moment over the NOP car that is now down in 5th place and has lost out to the W2E Pro GP car.
Oh, what a crazy restart this is. We are no longer under safety car, just for those watching along and joining in for the final few moments of this 24-hour De La Sarthe race. As yeah, we're still waiting for, I would imagine, a lot of cars to come through pit lane to serve those penalties that would have been picked up through having to go in just simply because they ran out of fuel. It was a real unfortunate timing, as here they come through on race control now. Plenty of drive-throughs are going to be handed out and served in the next coming laps.
Yeah, that's the 747 that's got one for a close pit lane violation. My problem is everybody got the black flag as we went racing here. HRC Gamma Sim came in to do their drive-through penalty straight away. Now, what will race control take of that one? They probably knew they was going to get one, but before race control had actually put the message through to say they had a penalty, they all had the black flag shown on our timing tower to say that they had one. So HRC Gamma Sim have obviously done it to clear it straight away. But may get another one because race control hadn't issued it at the time. There's a black flag, a drive-through for car number 87 for a closed pit lane violation. Here is the Rick Team Racing of Alfonso Reis leading the way in LMP2 Pro-Am by some 4 minutes 55 seconds from Paul Botting M Sport at the moment. And we're starting to see the drive-throughs popping up on screen right now, and that is the Rick Team Racing who have just gotten themselves the drive-through.
This is going to be no hold bar to the finish then, as I did see in the virtual grandstand one of the drivers from the HRC team BPM, currently second. We're anticipating them to take the lead because we know the Ferrari Rosso is probably going to have to make a pit stop, but they have pretty much confirmed, I would say, they have got enough fuel required to finish this race and get back from the cool down. They just need to keep it on the black stuff to the end.
Drive-through Porsche Asaleth car that we expected for a closed pit lane violation for them then. So they will have to come in and serve another drive-through, their drive-through penalty. Ferrari Rosso was 13 seconds clear of Oliver Clark. Remember, they have the rear left car on that, rear left tyre on that car. And there is the drive-through penalty for the 137, so came in straight away to clear it, and they've got the drive-through back for a closed pit lane violation. That has put that Acura off of the podium, I'd say now. The Porsche packs could be sitting pretty for a P2 here, if not a definite P3. Or maybe not, actually. Porsche Asaleth here could still be on for that podium with their drive-through penalty they've got, because Porsche packs had to make the pit stop. We'll see what the gap will be. Right. Yeah, they've come in to do their drive-through now. See what happens. We are awaiting, though, Ferrari Rosso to come into the pits for their final stop of the race. Drive-through for car number 30 as well. And what has happened to the 100 Paul Botting M Sport here? I think that's... yeah, that is the 100. Just gone straight on. Missed turn 1 and 2 there, so...
It's funny, I thought this team had...
I thought they'd retired.
Quit. Yeah, I thought they had. They are actually 100... it says 159 laps down. So they have retired, but for some reason brought the car back out of the garage for a brief moment, as some of the black flags disappearing again. The HRC Gamma Sim, they served the pit, the drive-through, sorry, on the safety car restart. I think they would have technically have served that penalty already. I don't know. That's going to be a tricky one to.
Well, they've come back in and done it. They did it just before we saw the replay. So they've been back in to do another drive-through.
Oh,
yeah, which you have to feel sorry for them. But we did see all the black flags, didn't we? Say the drive-through penalties.
Yeah.
Appear on the timing tower. So Fury's got one as well. Keep your eyes on P2 and 3 and LMGT3 for a potential drive-through penalty as well. They was two of the teams that pitted under the safety car, and we'll see if they've also been given the drive-through penalty. Porsche Asleth 2 seconds off the back of Porsche Pax here.
With a slowdown.
With a slowdown for the podium in Hypercar car 89. Can't see that. That is the NOP car drive-through penalty. So there we go. Pitting while it is being closed.
What a crazy end to a race like this. I mean, we're expecting the overall lead to change. We saw the LMGT3 lead change under the safety car. The Fischer, I believe it's the Porsche currently being driven by Tane Hodson. They are now leading that category there with a double stint and virtual power. They are very much a ways back now. I say that about 5 seconds apiece, but still, with the 15 minutes left, that is a nice little cushion still to have between them. But yeah, I mean, what a change of fortune for a lot of these teams. Some going the right way, some going the wrong.
Yeah, drive-through penalty for Simcast in LMP2 Pro-Am. They're currently running in P5. And they've got a drive-through as well. Here is Thomas in the double stint by TSR, who could also be under investigation for a drive-through penalty. RS Racing have got one as well. And there is a drive-through for virtual power, pitting under while the pit lane was closed. So then, that should keep them the podium. They're well ahead of the Bravo Snow car, who's moved their way back up into P4. Boy, oh boy, what has happened at the end of this race? 13 minutes, though, of this race to go. I'm waiting for a grandstand finish. Ferrari Rosso have surely got to come in sooner rather than later. They pitted on lap 320. We're on 333. They would have been able to save a bit of time through the safety car by fuel saving. But remember, they need a lap of fuel in the car to get round to do the cool down lap at the end of the race to get it back round to the pit lane. So, I mean, if they've somehow saved enough under the safety car, what a job from the Ferrari Rosso team.
I can't imagine that being the case. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be coming in next time round. They make their way to the start finish. So that is car 189. Then also picking up the closed pit violation. And I am also trying to find out which car that is. I believe it's one of the LMGT3s. Yes, it is. It's Luigi Caputi in the Welch competition. The Lamborghini there, currently P13. And I think even with the drive-through, they're not going to lose any ground from that. So we'll stay P13.
Yeah, they're a lap ahead in the 967 IRT Lamborghini. So should stay P13. RS Racing as well with their drive-through should stay in P12. NOP, though, have probably kissed goodbye to a podium in this race due to the drive-through penalty they have got to serve, and it puts Impact back to 1 and 2. So yeah,
it's such a weird end to such a fantastic race.
Yeah.
I don't want to say in a bad way though either, because it really has sort of injected this closing statement with a shot of adrenaline, like we saw with Murray. He absolutely jolted up in his chair as soon as we saw the safety car being announced, and of course the position of which their team has been in, it meant that they haven't had to make that pit stop. They'd luckily done it just before the safety car got called. And fortunately for those around them, they have had to do that splash and to get it to the end. And we're still waiting for the overall leader, the Ferrari Rosso car, currently still leading, but I would imagine making their way round through towards the Porsche S's now, that they are going to be in this lap for their stop.
The Turn 1 team in LMP2 have also been given a drive-through for a pit lane violation, which, when Lorenzo finally awakes from his slumber, the WG Pro GP car could now be comfortably sat on the podium in LMP2. And in comes Robert Santos for the Ferrari Rosso team, in for his splash and dash. And no matter how short the pit stop will be, It's the length of time in and out the pits that you have to add on to that, because the HRC Team PBM car
Still 20 seconds though.
is there, just coming through into the final chicane now, look. So there it is. And it will take the lead of... no, sorry, that was the wrong car. It's just gone through the final chicane now. And it will take the lead of the 24-hour De La Sarthe race. And HRC Team PBM Acura leads from 52nd on the grid at the start of the race. The fairy tale is still alive for them.
Yeah, and less than 10 minutes to go. They'll be counting down the seconds at this point. The Ferrari Rosso still in pit lane. When are they going to get under steam again? There they go. How far back are they now? Is it all over for the Ferrari outfit? They've led every other session so far throughout the free practice, the qualifying, the hyperpole, absolutely everything. And right at the death with 10 minutes to go, they are 24 seconds back from the overall leaders. Car 99, the HRC team, BPM.
Indeed, so Robert Santos is going to have to fight his way through this field as quick as he can now. Expect that fastest lap to possibly be broken if they've got any life in their tyres, because I assume this will be a man on a mission. Seeing a few comments in the virtual grandstand saying why not the VSC. The VSC would have meant that the safety car period would have been longer, because the safety car would have had to come out after VSC. So it would have put the safety car out for longer and probably would have ended the race under the safety car. And we want to see the race under green flag conditions, not the safety car procedure here then, as the W2 Pro GP car is coming under pressure from turn 1. Turn 1 though still have to serve that drive-through penalty. So for W2 Pro GP team here, they might not fight Ryan McIntosh overly hard, knowing that they've got a drive-through penalty to serve.
I mean, why would you? You really are now in the dying embers, and you just want to bring this car to the checkered flag. It wouldn't shock me if we see the Ferrari Rosso team as well close that gap up to maybe within sort of 10 seconds of the HRC team, just simply because they'll slow down a bit just to make sure they do get to the very end. But yeah, still a few positions up for grabs. But yeah, you're right. The W2 Pro GP. Why would you fight it when you know that the competitor's got to come and serve a drive-through?
Exactly. We'll see what happens here. And just want to point out, because people are saying, why don't we launch a full course yellow? You still can't pit under a full course yellow. Pit lane is closed. So it was pretty much the same as the safety car in the end, because people pitted very early on during the safety car, and it would have meant the same thing, that the pit lane would have still been closed for the full course yellow. Either way, that is what has happened. Race Control thought that was the best procedure to get this one underway. Fisher lead the way in LMGT3. Impact, car number 6, leads the way in LMP2. Rick Team Racing lead by 3 minutes from Paul Botting M Sport in LMP2 Pro-Am. And then the HRC Team PBM car with a left rear that is glitched out, Murray Adams said to us on the commentary, and put an old left tyre on instead of a new left tyre on when they put a new set of tyres on that car. So they're running with a tyre that is, and we don't quite know how much length of life that left rear tyre has done on the Acura, so it could be a case of keep an eye on what that tyre life is like for them.
Yeah, that still remains to be seen, doesn't it? I mean, the gap's already been eaten into by a second between the front two, and no doubt with at least, what are we saying? I'd probably say about 3 laps of racing still to go here. We got to finish this one once more around, and then there'll be probably just enough time to do one more and then the cool down lap. So it depends exactly where they are, but Oliver Clark has just crossed the line to start lap 335. So has Ferrari Rosso's Roberto Santos as well. So yeah, I'd say about 3 laps. No, 2 now at this point.
Yeah, because the 99 Acura was just coming towards the Mulsanne straight, if I saw correctly there, as we just briefly saw them. So yeah, at the moment it is going the way of the HRC Team PBM, but Ferrari Rosso are bringing that gap down with 2 laps to go. Heck of a gap to bring down though, 21 seconds, but they are giving it their all in this race to try and just close that gap as quick as possible.
Absolutely. They'll give it right to the very end, won't they? We are riding on board here with Thomas Marcelino, the Frenchman, in the double stint car. Currently sat P2, but has a drive-through still to serve, and the virtual power Porsche behind, car number 77, 27 seconds back. That I think is actually roughly the length of a drive-through. So that could still be up in the air of who finishes second and third, because the car behind them of Bravo Snow in fourth, they are quite considerably a bit further back.
Indeed it is. So let's see what will happen in this race for Thomas Morcellino in the BMW M4. Who's going to come in for that drive-through penalty now? The Bravo Snow car as well has picked up that drive-through penalty. So that might lose out on P4 to the Vortex and the Vulture M Sport Porsche. So that could put the Bravo Snow Ford Mustang down into P6 in LMGT3. Drive-through for car 13 we're seeing, which is the Bravo Snow. It's got the black flag next to their name before the race control message on your screen now. Right then, where is virtual power in relation to the double stint by TSR BMW? This is JD Daniel, who is coming under pressure from the Porsche Aslith car. And there is the HRC Gamma Sim team, who are out 20 to 30 seconds just off the back of the Porsches themselves. So a lot of work for them to do to gain on them too. But if the Porsche cars start fighting and have a bit of a coming together, that could open the door for the Acura. What has happened to the Screeching Mooses here? Is it a similar incident we've seen in these dying moments of the race? A bit of a twitch, and then the rear just snaps on them at turn 4 or 5. And he does well to just wait there.
Nicely done.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done.
Make sure they actually pull away. We've seen that once today, I think, where thought they got away with it, pulled away, and then put it in the wall. But no, I think Adrian Nguyen, got that very much under control. So no need for any further cautions in this closing moments. As Enzo Alquini then, that was too ambitious, wasn't it?
I mean, the McLaren's done well to hold on to that and keep going, can we just point out? But yeah, Enzo there. I don't know what part of the circuit he was looking at to try and squeeze through.
Did he lose the spot for it as well?
Believe he may have done, not too sure there, to be honest. But yeah, the McLaren there of Heckler did very well to save this. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't know exactly where that BMW thinks there's a space to put the lap on the McLaren, but look at this. Car control from Heckler here. Power sliding through the Porsche curves, catches it, back on the power, straighten her up, and away we go.
I think they've just found their new screensaver.
Yeah, I agree. All thanks to Omet, our producer here. Vortex versus versus Vulture M Sport then. And this is the battle for second place in the LMGT3. The double stint by TSR and Virtual Power Porsche going at it now on the final lap of this 24 hours of De La Sarthe. Here comes the Porsche number 77 into the Mulsanne corner. There you go, right around the outside, looking possibly for the up and under on the Mulsanne corner. Bit of contact, front bumper to bumper there between Porsche and BMW, and somehow Morcellino stays ahead.
Yeah, how much can he keep this up though? Because we've seen how slippery that Porsche has been on the straightaways. And Thomas Silva there for the Virtual Power car is looking to make another move. Is he going to go for the inside line? Yes, he is. Down towards Indianapolis then. Inside line, I think, has been sort of the favourite move into this corner. They're still going to be neck and neck though as they make their way into the braking zones. The BMW now has the inside line though, deep on the brakes, gets the block. Nicely done. Well defended there by the double stint car, and still hanging on to second place, but only just.
Brilliant racing from the pair of them. Where is the 99 Acura just quickly so we can see where they are in terms of crossing over the start-finish line. They are coming down towards Mulsanne corner. So these two might get an extra lap in, in the LMGT3 battle for second place. They might just squeeze one extra lap in this race for the GT3 battle. This, though, is your race leader. Out front as he heads towards Indianapolis now, Oliver Clark. They probably didn't even think of being in the contention for a race win at the start of the day. And what a drive from the 99 Acura here.
It's been a fairy tale for them, hasn't it?
Oh, it really has. And we said earlier in the show, didn't we, actually, what position would you rather be in? Fastest in every session and win the race, or start from 52nd and win the race? And Well, they're going to finish 1-2, the pair of them, Ferrari Rosso. But yeah, fair play to the HRC Team PBM.
Yeah, zeros to heroes, absolutely, for this team. And only a few more corners to go, 20 seconds. But that is definitely going to count down before they see the checkered flag. So they've got a nice little buffer, 14 seconds. They really are just counting down the corners here, bringing it home. Oliver Clark, no doubt shaking in his sim rig at the moment. But just hold it together, Ollie. Only a few more corners to go.
Indeed it is. Towards the Ford chicane, there you go. The timer ticks to 0. The final lap for Oliver Clark and the 99 Acura. It will be jubilation for the team who have worked so incredibly hard. And through the first chicane they go. Into the second and final corner. 24 hours later, Core 99 HRC Team PBM win the 24 Hours of De La Sarthe. The Acura on the top step of the podium.
Oh, sensational stuff there from the boys. And absolutely buzzing for them as well, I am, but I'm sure they're going to be giving it even more so. The Ferrari Rosso has also crossed the line in second place, and here we are looking back at the LMP2 leader, Corbin Lenaway. That number 6 impact car has had a brilliant second half to the 24 hours here, and they have been looking like the favourites ever since pretty much taking the lead from it.
With their teammates right behind them, looks like they're just slowing down a little bit for a photo finish across the line. Team Impact, car 6 and 7, cross the line 1 and 2 in the LMP2 Pro category. What a great result for them. Porsche Packs have got third place in the Hypercar category as well. The WT Pro GP team also look like they could be stepping onto the podium in LMP2. But here is Alfonso Reis to bring home, and I'm just seeing double black flag for virtual power and double stint by TSR on the timing tower in the LMGT3 category. That time will obviously be added to the end race result, and here comes Alfonso Reis in the LMP2 Pro-Am to be the race winner in pretty much dominating fashion, because Paul Botting M Sport have already finished in second place. Alfonso Reis with 2 corners to go take a bow to the Rick Team Racing, who win LMP2 Pro-Am here in the 24 Hours of De La Sarthe.
And we've still got one last category to see their leader cross the line. Tane Hodgson in the Fischer Porsche car. And with 30-second advantage over the next team, they can pretty much cruise this one to the end as well. And they've just got the Porsche curves left to go. They'll be relishing this, and I would say, not going to take this away from at any point, an unlikely victor in the closing stages here, but nonetheless, you have to be in it to win it, and they were right where they needed to be when it mattered the most. And Fischer, with a few corners to go, are going to be very, very happy indeed.
And I wonder what the penalty is for the black flag drive-thrus at the end of this race, because double stint by TSR are only 30 seconds clear of Vulture M Sport for the podium. So what will the time penalty be for the black flag at the very end? But like you say, Tane Hodgson here and the Fischer car, who I don't think have led a lap in GT3 today, they're going to win it right at the very end.
They've led the last few laps, and to the checkered flag they go to take home the LMGT3 top honours, and they will be absolutely ecstatic with that one. As we jump back here to your overall winner, Oliver Clark and the HRC Team BPM car. Wow, we said it already, Matthew. Zeros to heroes, last to first challenge. They've pulled it off for an absolute fairy tale.
Yeah, and it is a fairy tale, isn't it? You know, everybody coming across to congratulate them. And there's the other Acura car that just driving through, maybe for a bit of a photo with the race winners. But Virtual Power finished second place, double stint by TSR third place in LMGT3. Velocity Vanguard that brought out the safety car, hung on for P3 in LMP2 Pro-Am. It shows how good they was looking at the end through the last couple of hours of this race. And apparently, I'm reading in the virtual grandstand that there was a wreck on the Mulsanne straight on the last lap between second and third in LMGT3. That might explain the 2 black flags next to their name for the 20x points that they have possibly received due to that incident. I'm wondering if Omet can try and find what has happened on that last lap between the number 77 and the number 3.
Interesting. But I guess
see what's happened there.
They would have been going hard at it, wouldn't they? It's not the biggest shock in the world, but nevertheless, you don't want to come a cropper on the final lap, but They managed to bring it home still. But let's see what that black flag's going to do to them, because of course that Vulture M Sport only 30 seconds back.
Here we go then. So this might be what has happened. The Porsche pulls to the right-hand side on your screen, coming into the Mulsanne corner, and it's going to look right around the outside. Is this? I think that was the move we saw earlier, where they was fighting towards Indianapolis as well. So it was a bit after this. I believe, or was it? Let's just see what happens. And that's all that our producer can see on the replays. So was it on the Mulsanne? Yeah.
If not, it looked a bit like a carbon copy, didn't it?
Yeah, it did indeed. But either way, that brings an end to the proceedings. We'll obviously try and get some interviews with the race winners after they've done their slowdown laps, but might get Adam Murray in, for a fourth chat of the broadcast, obviously with the rest of the team as well. But what a race it has been here in the 24 hours de la Sarthe. Your provisional race results then, because obviously race control will still be busy till the very end. 99 HRC Team PBM. The accurate winner by 11 seconds from Ferrari Rosso. Porsche Pax round out the podium. Car number 55, Porsche Aslith will be P4 from HRC Gamma Sim. BMW M Team BSS. P6 from BMW M Team DRT. Porsche Fischer P8 from BMW MTSR. 9th from BMW M Team DRT. Number 12. Car 12 in 10th position. P7 for... we just got down to 10th. Cadillac World of Sim Racing down in 11th. Cadillac car number 96 was P12. I believe this is overall race results. So Ferrari WGR was P13 and Ferrari V1M was down in 14th. Impact Car 6 was your race winner there. This is the LMP2 classifications. Impact Car 6 was your race winner. Impact Car 7 was P2 from the W2 E Pro GP car. I bet Lorenzo can't wait to wake up to see the news on that one. Turn 1 was P4 from NOP in 5th. Bravo Snow, Rosso Esports, and then Grow RT was P8. Rick Team Racing then, your race winners in LMP2 Pro and from the Paul Botting M Sport in P2. Velocity Vanguard was P3 from Revolution, Simcast, Tri-State Fury, and Flight Level down, rounding out the top 8 of LMP2 Pro Am.
Pit lane.
And in LMGT3, Fischer was your race winners from Vulture M Sport. So Vulture M Sport gets second place after the time penalties given to Virtual Power and double stint by TSR. Virtual Power finish on the podium, but the BMW drops to 4th place. Vortex P5 from Bravo Snow. Westgate was 7th from Paul Botting M Sport. Team World of Sim Racing and Project 91 rounded out the top 10. Vulture M Sport there actually getting on the podium and getting second place of all.
Yeah, real nice result in the end for them, and that collision in the last lap really was costly for them, wasn't it?
That's what happens, I suppose, in racing, isn't it? When you have these kind of contacts. Project 91 was P10 from Impact. RS Racing P12, Velch Competition P13, Poised by VF in 14th. 961 IRT Lamborghini was 15th place from Flight Level down in 16th. 17th for the Screeching Mooses down the bottom end of the timing tower. In what has been a rather enjoyable and frantic, chaotic end to the 24 hours of de la Sarthe. We are just awaiting a few interviews from drivers and teams to jump in the waiting room, and hopefully we'll get to speak to a few of the drivers who want to come in at the end. To be fair, they may all be trying to get off to bed to get some shut-eye, I would imagine. So we'll give it a few more moments, but Ashley, what a thoroughly enjoyable event.
Oh, absolutely thrilling. I've been up for over half of it and part of this event for over half of it as well, and it's nothing short of spectacular. We're just going to... Jose, where do the winners go? The broadcast waiting room, please. But yeah, the event itself, sensational stuff. And who would have thought? I think it really is the unlikely winners of car 99, but they were looking incredibly strong in this latter half of the final 12 hours, and thoroughly deserved it in the end as well.
Yeah, thoroughly did enjoy it, and it was a great event. I think we both got the fair share of good green flag racing as well, didn't we, through the entirety of the event. I know that Ewan had a few safety car and full course yellows to deal with on the first stint, but what a topsy-turvy race as well. It was always up in the air, wasn't it, for who could win this one. We are being joined in the waiting room by Corbin Lenaway, so let's get him in here. The race winner for the Impact LMP2s. Corbin, you're live on ACV TV. Congratulations on what was a great race win. Looked like you had the outright pace there in the LMP2 Pro category today.
Yeah, it's amazing. I appreciate it. Got a little bit unlucky with some of the pit timings before the final safety car, and we thought we were out of it after leading all those laps, and we were kind of feeling down and out. But as soon as that safety car came out, it brought us right back to life. And yeah, I can't thank everybody enough. It's just it went as smoothly as it possibly could all day, and yeah, I'm just very thankful for everybody for the help and everybody around me.
Yeah, it was a great race, and also a double delight for the team as well, wasn't it? With both cars 1 and 2 as you cross the line there, that must make the team sort of by the end of this 24-hour really happy with the effort that you have all put in the car.
Of course, yeah, it was important to me to give each car a fair chance at the win. So I feel like we had a pretty balanced lineup in both cars, and it showed at the end. I mean, just a handful of seconds separating the two. So. Yeah, it feels good to just see 2 separate groups of 4 people being able to put the cars up front and do what they need to do to get a good finish. So, yeah, it's amazing.
At one stage before the safety car came out, a couple of full course yellows fell in the way of the NOP car that sort of handed them the lead of the race at one stage. Did you think that we're going to be in a fight here in the dying moments of this race? Obviously, before the safety car had come out.
No, I thought we were done. I thought the win was off. There's just no way. It was 3 full course yellows in a row that had gotten called after they had entered the pits, and it was just incredible timing. I don't think anybody could have planned that and done it successfully, but nonetheless, kept my head down through my last 2 stints and got the job done.
Ashley, anything you'd like to
add? No, I mean, big congratulations. You certainly had the pace of the field, I think, in your class. So thoroughly deserved win, I would say, from my end of things. And congratulations again.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll let you enjoy that one, Corbin, and hopefully see you in future events as there. Guess who's back in the waiting room?
Oh, no way!
He fancies a 4th time in the commentary box. Murray Adams joins us live. Actually, I'll let you take this one.
Oh, Murray, it's all come to fruition, hasn't it? I mean, the fairy tale ending that you were looking for. Well done. Congratulations, guys.
We're absolutely over the moon. Ollie and Josh drove an absolutely incredible race, and especially Ollie those last couple hours to be able to deliver the car home with the amount of pressure he was under. Robert in the 50 drove an incredible race all race, and we knew that he was going to go out really hot after the restart, and he was going to push really hard when he pitted. But we'd done our maths, and we thought all we need to do is get it back. So, yeah, just absolutely incredible race, and we're all absolutely gubbed. We have next to no sleep between us all, but it's all worth it.
I was going to say, surely it is all worth it there in the end. And to think all of this came about because of an admin issue in qualifying, that you ended up starting at the back. I mean, brief description of the race from yourself. I think we've had it pretty much in and out throughout. But how does it all get described up in a few words?
Incredible first couple hours. Josh took a CPU crash. Hour 2 lost 7 minutes, almost 2 laps down. Fought back the entire race, got on the lead lap, saved our tyres, saved our fuel, and then got in the lead, 45 seconds in the lead. Ollie clips the wall, smashes the rear right of the car, almost have a plane crash. Somehow, we then realised that we're going to need to do a splash and dash of about 3 laps, and the gods sent us a safety car when we were needing it most, and we've been able to deliver for Connor, for Paul, for the rest of the boys in PBM, because there's been a lot of help from all those boys. They're a great wee team, and yeah, I think everyone in the team is loving this result, and we're all loving it too.
Yeah, understandably so. Bragging rights are certainly on the cards, and what a way to start out a conversation with anybody you go to, really. Started last, we finished first, 24 hours later. What a talking point.
Exactly. It's we Josh, Ollie, and I all have real world 24-hour experience in karts, and we've all done our fair share. But this race was a bit different to any of the ones that we've done before, and yeah, we've all just dug deep, and we drove the wheels off it from minute one. Those track temps with 3 hours to go were getting really, really hard, up at 40 degrees, and we found all of a sudden we had a lot of pace when we started driving the car slowly, and I think that's what kind of put us back in the hunt a bit. And yeah, it's just absolutely incredible to think that we were stone dead last yesterday morning, and then we had the tech fault, and after all the hard work getting up to where we were, to then bring it back is just, yeah, absolutely incredible.
Buzzing. Well, I mean, final congratulations from me, Murray, and of course yourself and the team there. Matthew, any questions you'd like to ask before we let them go?
Oh, nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Just a massive congratulations to yourself, Murray, and the rest of the team.
Thanks very much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
And I believe we've got Tane Hodson in the chat from the Fisher Porsche LMGT3 car. Tane, welcome in to the commentary box. I don't think you led a lap tonight during this 24 hours race, but you led the ones that mattered at the very end.
Exactly. It's all that matters. But yeah, we kept it in a good spot all race, so that's really why we're here. We had a chance at the end, and I told them with about 5 hours to go, that's all we wanted. So, or all I wanted to finish the race. So yeah, big thanks to everyone on the team, Ryan and Merrick and Aaron as well. Aaron did a huge part in making sure we were good on the drive time too. So, and then Merrick with the last 2 stints he did too was amazing.
Yeah, we've just pulled your teammate. Oh, he's just disappeared again. So, yeah, it was a great race from yourselves. In the right place at the right time at the very end. But like you said, the drive time was there. Everything else was there in terms of the strategy you needed to be on at the end. A little bit of good fortune maybe with the other two pitting under the safety car while the pit lane was closed, but you've got to take every bit of good fortune you can in a race like this.
Yeah, I mean, we decided to do the whole pit 1 lap before you can make it on fuel. Just in case full course yellows come out, and we did that literally all race, and it never worked until that last caution, because we're like, the leaders, if we get a safety car and the leaders have to pit, then it's ours to lose. We did have a little bit of an incident point issue, so we had to do almost two drive-throughs. So I had to save that at the end, but yeah, and Merrick's in the waiting room again.
Let's bring Marek back in then. Marek, you're live with us with Tane as well. Congratulations on the LMGT3 win. Some mega stints from you towards the end of that race to put you guys in this position. Marek, can you...
Yeah, that was a great race for us, so we are really happy. And yeah, I still do not believe that we did it. We won this race, so yeah. That was something big for me.
Like I've just said to Tane, you never really leading a lap of the race or sort of near the front of the grid for the majority, but you did it exactly when it mattered.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need any lap. So yeah, but our strategy at the end works, and works as we want. So yeah, so that is really surprising for us. But yeah, that happened.
Indeed, it does. Anybody you'd like to thank last of all, or Ashley, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No. Again, like I've said to the other drivers and teams as well, just a huge congratulations. What a fantastic win for you guys at the end there.
Thank you, guys. Great broadcast as well.
I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Well done to Tane and Marek and the Fisher team for winning in LMGT3. And we do have Jose Barbosa, I believe, one of the drivers who was the winners in the LMP2 Pro-Am category. So, Ashley, I'll let you take this one.
Yep, we've brought them in now. So, Jose Barbosa, welcome in. You are live here on ACV TV. First of all, big congratulations. Class win. How does that one feel for you?
It was amazing, to be honest. Yeah, tough race. Very tough. Since yesterday, we just focused on saving tires during the whole start of the race and the whole night, literally. And from around about 7 hours to go, we were full push every stint because we had tires left. So, yeah, strategy race.
It certainly seems that way. Of course, you're saying a strategy race. We have had a few interruptions during that, a few safety cars for full course yellows as well. How did that affect the race throughout? Because it's been tricky being on the commentary side of things, trying to watch inward. But I mean, how is it as a driver? What's that perspective like?
It was tough to know what to do when the safety cars and full course yellows came out, because obviously we had limited tire sets, so we couldn't just use them up because we wouldn't have any if we needed them at the end. So we had to do 2 quads at night at some point because of the full course yellows. So yeah, it wasn't easy, let's say that.
No, I mean, it certainly sounds like a challenge, but unfortunately, we never really saw much of the team on the broadcast itself. I think that's because you guys pretty much just quietly kept plodding along throughout this race. But I mean, again, one of those moments where it all just accumulated into the lead when it mattered right at the end. I mean, how would you sum up the race for your team itself?
Yeah, we assumed the lead. I think we had like 3 hours to go or something. We were P1 with 50 seconds to go, to the car behind. But yeah, that was a strat to just save the tires for today. You don't win Le Mans in the first 5 hours, but you can lose it. So yeah, just save the tires. Make sure you've got tires to push if you need to push at the end. And that's what we did. We literally, from this morning, we pushed all the way to the end. And apart from the last stint after the safety car, obviously we didn't need to. But yeah.
Yeah, mentioning that final safety car again, how did that sort of raise the stakes in the final closing moments, or was it pretty easy sailing?
That was scary because we entered the pits with the pits closed, so we had to do a drive-through, and we didn't know whether or not we were going to have time to do that drive-through after the safety car or not, because we didn't know how long it was going to take. So yeah, that was a bit stressful. A few white hairs and stuff, but yeah, we pulled through the end.
Yeah, understandably, and rightly so. I think I'd be scared too. But Jose, I tell you what, congratulations to yourself, to the RIC team as well. Of course, you are the Pro-Am winners there in the LMP2 class. Anyone you want to give a quick thanks to before we let you disappear to celebrate?
Yeah, just our sponsors, MV Skin Lab and PC Components, and everyone that helped us today. So all my teammates, Roberto, Rodrigo, and Afonso, and yeah, our team owner, Rick, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add, Matthew? Or
no, just a massive congratulations to the whole team.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Lovely. Well, Jose and the RIC team then with their Pro-Am win. Lovely stuff. And I think that is all our winners there, Matthew.
It is all of our winners. Once again, thank you all to everybody who has joined us in the virtual grandstand along the 6 parts of the action here. Big thank you to the likes of Ewan O'Leary and JC Riley, I believe it was, who joined us in the commentary box. A massive shout out to Lorenzo Bonda and Connor Botting for doing double stints in the commentary box and in the racetrack as well. Ashley, thank you for joining me live throughout the entirety of the 12 hours, as well as for Samuli and Omet, our producers in the background. Race Control and everybody else who has worked behind the scenes tirelessly over the last 24 hours. But Ashley, that concludes our 24 De La Sarthe race.
Certainly does. It's been action-packed, thrilling right till the very end, and of course, just why not throw a twist to the tail at the death as well, just for the extra added entertainment. But really has been a pleasure. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really hope that this becomes a bit more of a tradition, and they put this on again next year.
Indeed it will. If you want to keep up to date with all the dramas that has happened and unfolded, please follow us on our social media platforms, as well as for ACVT. The tiredness is really kicking in. For ACV TV, the 4 hours of Imola for the resumption of our European Sports Car Championship season will be with you on the 18th of July. So make sure you tune in for that one, as I will be bringing you all the action live from Imola. But from me, Ashley, Omet, and the whole entire team here at ACV TV, thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Goodbye.